sent to hell. All night long, all day, the doors of dark Hades stand open. But to retrace the path, to come out again to the sweet air of heaven, there is the task, there is the burden. If I cannot move heaven, I will raise hell. We'll talk about that later, but now it's time for Rick Tittle and Titillating Sports on Sports Byline USA. All right, thank you for that, and it's a hump day edition of Titillating Sports with Rick Tittle, 9 to noon Pacific time, noon to 3 on the East Coast. Sometimes I tell people, yeah, I'm on there at 9, and they go, I turned it on, it's just news. Well, that is true. We have a newscast for the first 5 minutes, and then a 1-minute commercial. And then I come on just for a second, then we go back to another commercial. The show gets started in earnest at 12 after, but we don't want you to miss the first 12 minutes. Rick, don't tell anybody. All right, I won't. 1-800-878-PLAY is the number. 1-800-878-7529 to get in and get heard. Football, basketball, baseball, hockey, soccer, golf, tennis, auto racing, boxing, Olympics, quidditch, ball, chess, checkers, rugby, cricket. We also have some very interesting guests. Canadian musician Loreena McKennitt will join us in a little less than 20 minutes. An hour from now, Bruce McCulloch from Kids in the Hall, he is back. He is at Sketchfest. He's known as the Little One. Comedian Greg Proops, one of my favorites, in about 90 minutes. He will have his New Year's Eve shows at the Punchline here in San Francisco. And then in the third hour, another comedian, Amanda Marks. She's going to be at the Kung Pao event. That's always kind of another way of saying it, the Jewish Comedy Festival. So on Christmas Eve and Christmas, people who don't celebrate Christmas can go to a Chinese restaurant and listen to comedy and have good food. How about that? TuneIn app, iHeartRadio app, Stitcher app. I'm on Twitch.tv. There I am. I'm also streaming on YouTube as well. And as I said, the YouTube is very narrow, and this is why I am stage left on the Twitch feed as well. But we try to get to you every which way you can, and I'm so hot in my reading glasses and my Sharks hat that everyone will bow down. The Twitter is at Rick Tittle, and Titillating Sports with Rick Tittle on Facebook, the fan page. Come on back.
Keep listening for details on how to get up to $300 airline credit. Sky Holidays introduces a one-of-a-kind air credit program. Our buying team got a little too aggressive in getting hotel and air deals, so now we have to liquidate our prices. Here's how. Whether you want to go to Paris, Las Vegas, London, Atlanta, Hawaii, or anywhere else in the world, we have amazing deals. Book a selected hotel and we'll give you up to $300 airline credit. Now you can book your vacation and get a free credit to use towards airline travel. We'll book both, airline and hotel, with one simple phone call. We have access to most airlines and deals on thousands and thousands of places to stay. Call right now, book your hotel rooms, claim your airline credit. You can change or modify it at any time. 800-256-4816. 800-256-4816. That's 800-256-4816. Packages start at $29.99 a month with signed agreement. Restrictions apply. Speak to a representative for complete offer details. See Vivint.com for license details. Terms and conditions apply.
Homeowners, if you're looking for the best in home security and smart home technology at a price you can actually afford, we have great news. Now you can get Vivint's award-winning home security systems starting at about $1 a day. U.S. News and World Report has recognized Vivint as the best professionally installed home security system of 2022. And right now, you can get Vivint's home security technology for about $1 a day. Plus, get free professional installation from a licensed technician. Protect your home and loved ones for as low as $1 a day. Call right now for your free home security consultation.
800-918-6189. 800-918-6189. 800-918-6189. That's 800-918-6189.
Have you suffered sports betting losses? There is someone who wants to fight for you to see you get back what you have lost to those sports betting companies. Michael Watts is a prolific trial lawyer with over $11 billion in total recoveries for his clients. And now with SportsBettingClaim.com, he'd like to help you. Michael has been a leader in some of the largest and most complex cases in the country, from defective cars and tires to damaging drugs and medical products. He has always represented the rights of individuals harmed by large corporations. His efforts recently resulted in the recovery of billions for individuals who lost their properties to fires carelessly caused by electric companies and others. Michael knows that sports betting companies preyed on and manipulated consumers into losing their life savings, and he wants to make them pay. If you have suffered financial hardship as a result of online sports betting and would like help seeking compensation, please submit your claim information for evaluation at sportsbettingclaim.com. Michael Watts is focused on winning for you. sportsbettingclaim.com.
Betting Sports with Rick Tittle. Rick Tittle is a genius. Best show ever. He's so wonderful. Genius. The best show ever. He's so wonderful. Titillating Sports with Rick Tittle. Rick Tittle, he's so handsome. He's a genius.
You're now listening to the Rick Tittle Show. Good for you.
All right, thank you for that. We have some open lines to get the show started at 1-800-878-PLAY, 1-800-878-7529. You know, when you have a quarterback, you get to a point in the NFL where you have to make a decision about, is he the guy? And if he is the guy, that means a contract is coming up, and then you have to pay him an obscene amount of money. But that's just the price of doing business in the NFL. $25 million a year used to be an exorbitant amount of money, but you're starting way higher than that now, no matter who it is. And then the next guy goes, and the next guy. And sometimes it might not even be somebody that has done it for a long time. If you think about Deshaun Watson, one great year and got an extension unheard of. Daniel Jones, one good year. It happens. You remember Brock Bowers out of UCF, one good year, got a huge and you kind of roll the dice on that, and that's what happened with Tua Tagovailoa. Was that he got a concussion in college, but he'll be all right. And then he got a concussion as a rookie, and then he finally put it together, and they gave him all the money. Well, yesterday, Coach Mike McDaniel of the Dolphins said everything is on the table. Well, he came through with that this morning because they have announced that since the Dolphins are now eliminated from playoff contention whatsoever, Quinn Ewers will be the starting quarterback this week for the Cincinnati Bengals. McDaniel said, quote, "Well, I think the quarterback play was not good enough, and so for me, this is the decision." So, Tagovailoa against the Steelers in that loss Monday night, he went 22 for 28, 23 yards, 2 touchdowns, interception, took 4 losses. Now, that doesn't sound too bad. Statistically, both the touchdowns were in garbage time, and through 3 quarters, he had only recorded 65 yards passing and an interception. So far this season, 68% completion, 660 yards, 20 touchdowns, and leading the league in picks, 15. And the Dolphins had won 4 games in a row going into Monday night. But in that span, 3 touchdown passes, 3 picks, he had not played well. But as I mentioned, just about a year and a half ago in the summer of 2024, Tagovailoa signed a 4-year, $212.4 extension. How much guaranteed? $167 million. So if they do want to move on from Tagovailoa this offseason, that's going to be very difficult for Miami, because not just because he was the number 5 overall pick and you have a lot invested in him, is that he's signed through 2028. His cap hit next year, $56.4 million. So this could mark the end of the Tagovailoa era in Miami. And Tyreek Hill, who is also out for the season, he hurt his knee in September, and he reacted online with the gif of a man disappearing. So it was already reported that the Dolphins were going to move on from Tyreek Hill as well. So just what he is owed, forget cap hits. Made $39.2 million this year. Next year he's on the books for $56.4 million. 2027, $53.4 million, and then back end heavy. In 2028, his salary is $65.8 million. $65.8 million. But that's the thing. What's the thing? Do you want to? I noticed the other day that maybe this is why I get along so well with Dana Gould. He said, here's the thing about 8 times. And I noticed it, and I was like, I think I did that too. If you want a young quarterback, you have to go all in. It's like what the Niners had with Brock Purdy. Is he the guy? Well, if he is, we have to pay him insane money. That is the state of affairs. If he's not, then we'll move on. So the choice is like a fifth of your entire salary going into the quarterback, sometimes a quarter of your entire salary, or draft somebody, pay him on a rookie deal, sign Mac Jones for a couple mil, see what he's got. That's the kind of thing. And so that's why the 49ers just want to win, okay? If they cared about who they drafted, Trey Lance would still be the quarterback there, and they'd be like, we put too much into this. Now, bottom line is professional teams 9 times out of 10 just want to win. And so they'll go ahead and say, well, this guy's better than you. And so that was the thing. The Niners were desperate. Mac Jones was playing pretty well. Not amazing, but well enough. They were winning games. It's like, we have a lot of money wrapped up in Purdy, and we did that because we think he's better. And then Purdy came back and has looked pretty good. At least 2 of the 3 games he's come back. He looked very good. So he is a Super Bowl quarterback, by the way. So this is also the type of situation where I think the fans also, because every day, when are we getting rid of Tua? When are we getting rid of Tua? Blah, blah, blah. And so you get Quinn Ewers. The question I have, what is the question you have, Rick? The question I have is, when I asked at the time, and I'll ask it again, because Quinn Ewers at one point was going to be the #1 overall pick. And I was thinking at the time, well, maybe Quinn Ewers would be good like in the 4th or 5th round. No, he lasted until the 7th round. And did the Raiders take a flyer on him? No. They drafted in the 6th round Cam Miller, a little quarterback, South Dakota. And which is a quarterback factory if you think about the aforementioned Trey Lance, you think about Carson Wentz and Easton Stick and these other guys. But you have a guy who was, now the past is the past, and Quinn Ewers was basically a quarterback of his class, and he went to Ohio State, didn't work out, transferred to Texas, and nearly won him a national championship. Kept the top freshman in the last 10 years on the bench in Arch Manning for not 1 but 2 years. And I don't know, I really like that Cam Miller guy. And this is when scouting departments, it's like the Jihad Ward thing. Do you see how young that guy is? Yeah, there's Derrick Henry. He won the Heisman. Derrick Henry's in every draft. Jihad Ward. He's the next Javon Pierce. He's the next Aldon Smith who will keep his head on straight. As it turned out, Jihad Ward is so far, and I hope the only person to call me the N-word on Twitter. I shouldn't laugh, but I mentioned one time when people were talking about Jihad Ward, and I was like, yeah, we could have had Derrick Henry instead of him, and then he saw that. Somebody showed him, or I don't know. And then he said some nonsensical thing and then threw the N-word at me. Fine. Sticks and stones for me, that's fine. But getting back to Tua, I guess I have not watched the Dolphins closely enough to be just how terrible he is. Now, I remember in college, there was this guy who looked like Ronald McDonald, literally, and he was a wide receiver on my team. slow and he couldn't catch, but they started him the whole season. And I asked somebody, I go, what the hell is going on? And they go, they gave him a full ride. He's from a high school in Colorado. They gave him a full ride. He goes, yeah, he has to play or they're going to look really stupid. I go, they look more stupid by playing him. He sucks. I want to go to that Colorado high school. If that guy was the stud, what the hell is going on? All right, let's talk to Loreena McKennitt. Come on back on Sports Byline.
Like the legend of the Phoenix, all ends with beginnings. What keeps the planet spinning? The force from the beginning.
Special alert for consumers struggling to pay tax. There are new tax regulations, not published yet. We have the inside track on your new tax savings. These programs are designed to help struggling taxpayers like you. The COVID relief programs are gone, but there are new programs to help struggling taxpayers, and we have the inside track. Call now, and we'll take you through these new programs. These taxpayer savings programs have never been available until now. Get out of tax trouble now. It doesn't take weeks. It can happen in one phone call. Call now and get the inside track. Get rid of your tax problems.
Call the tax helpline now. 800-949-0039. 800-949-0039. 800-949-0039. That's 800-949-0039.
If you've got a property that you've been trying and you've tried almost everything, I want to tell you about something that you haven't tried yet. You're going to think this offer is too good to be true, but it's not. Thousands of customers have sold their home in any condition with Need to Sell My Home. This is a real opportunity from a highly rated company that buys homes all over the country. Did you know it's possible to sell your home right over the phone? No real estate commissions and no pesky open houses. Plus, every offer is a cash offer with no mortgage holdups. To find out how much you can sell your home or property for, call now. Take 5 minutes of your time and call for this 100% free quote to sell your home.
800-430-0674. 800-430-0674. 800-430-0674. That's 800-430-0674. Do you need to sell your home? If you've sold a home before, you remember how stressful and expensive it was. Sold.com is here to help you sell your home for the most money and with the least amount of stress. There are new ways to sell your home that you've never heard of before. Did you know there are companies who'll offer you cash for your home? Did you know you could trade in your home for a new one? Did you know there are realtors who'll sell your home for a flat fee instead of an expensive commission? It's true. Sold.com services are free. So if you're looking to sell, make this free phone call right now and learn how your next home sale can be faster and easier than you ever thought possible. Pick up your cell phone and call right now. 800-251-7816. 800-251-7816. 800-251-7816. That's 800-251-7816.
Silent night, holy night, all is calm, all is bright. Round your virgin mother and child, holy infancy, tender and mild.
Thank you for that, and welcome back to the show. Rick Tittle with you, coast to coast and around the world on the American Forces Radio Network. The very angelic and dulcet tones you're listening to there is to the highly prolific veteran performer, singer, songwriter, and musician, Loreena McKennitt, who joins us now. And she's here because she has a CD from UME, UME, called Under a Winter's Moon. And she has singles for Silent Night as well. And also a 3 LP vinyl for Under a Winter's Moon as well. Loreena, welcome to the show. And I was just thinking about you growing up in Manitoba and the folk singers when you were young, the Neil Youngs, the Joni Mitchells, the Gordon Lightfoots. What kind of influence did that have on a young Canadian girl?
Well, it had a great influence on me, just growing up with my guitar at the time. Mm-hmm. And it was such an influential era of music and connected to the politics of the time. So it was very, very influential.
Knowing how close the Canada and the Commonwealth is at that time and of your heritage, is that why kind of Celtic music, Celtic music, however you want to say it, was sort of like in your bones?
I suppose in one sense it must have been. My attraction to Celtic music was less from an intellectual standpoint that most of my family history came from Scotland and Ireland. But on my mother's side, they actually came from the southeast of Ukraine, and but there's something really infectious in the Celtic music that drew me to it, and so it was much less that my family history had come from it. Very strong melodies. I guess some of the jigs and reels.
Well, to me, it's a sense of community. It's like something at the pub. It's welcoming. It's inclusive type of thing. Those sing-songy performances.
Absolutely. When I first went to Ireland to track down the traditional music, it was about 1981, and I spent the month of February there, primarily on the West Coast. Spent a lot of time in County Clare, the village of Doolin. And without question, most of the music happened in the pubs, or there were little kitchen parties where you'd be playing music or dancing. Some wonderful traditions such as mummering, where people go around in costumes on Boxing Day. Even on Halloween, I was to kind of gathering on the Aran Islands. The music is inevitably woven through these festivals and this life. So it's less an act of performing than it is one of where you can learn some of the tunes in a basic way in an instrument, and it is a communal thing. It is a sense of belonging.
I would imagine 81 in Ireland, everyone was talking about Sheena Easton.
Yes, I suppose. I was less tapped into Sheena Easton that I was just following, I don't know, the Doherty brothers who were playing their fiddle up in Donegal.
So I'm also very impressed by the fact that you are you're in the Order of Canada and the Order of Manitoba. You have the Forces decoration as well. We don't have these things in America. We don't have these type of titles. We can get like a Presidential Medal of Freedom or something. So, in England you can be an OAB or a Knight or all that. How cool is that your nation has recognized you as one of their favorites?
Well, it's pretty humbling on the most part. I think many people just get on with the things they love and do them and do them hopefully for the right reasons, that they enjoy it, they feel they're good at it, they can share their talents or gifts with other people. But it is gratifying on another level to be recognized. With the Order of Canada, that was not just my accomplishments from a musical standpoint, but I'd also raised between $3 and $4 million to set up a water safety fund. I also purchased a heritage school in the city of Stratford, Ontario, where I live, and transformed it into a family center. And then, of course, were the years, 17 years as an honorary colonel in the Royal Canadian Air Force. The last, 10 or so, that was as the honorary colonel for the entire Air Force. And that was incredible privilege to be able to. I flew around in a C-130 Hercules all over Canada. We also went down to training exercises in Key West. Went to visit some of our troops in Lithuania and Kuwait, Romania. And it was a real education. And I feel great gratitude to all of those who serve, and particularly the families behind and around them who were so remarkable and are so remarkable. So for me, that was really one of the most honorific kinds of experiences.
Very cool. You know, a lot of times, as you know, in the radio business, we try to categorize music like adult contemporary, but hot AC. And I was like, what? And, you know, Afrofusion. The one that always gets me is world music. So it's like Enya, world music. Have you ever been thrown in that category? And what does world music mean to you?
Well, back in the day of the 90s, it was more like New Age music. There was a New Age Billboard chart. It was one that I didn't feel I belonged in so much. I knew Enya was over there and some other folks, and that was more of an atmospheric music. I felt that my music had too much focus in it to really warrant sitting in the New Age camp. That it was, I think, put over into world music by a bit of default. I mean, there are a lot of influences in my music. Yes, there's the traditional Celtic ones, but there's electric guitar, there's instruments from India, from Greece and Turkey that might sit next to classical instruments like the violin and cello, Irish pipes. So it's very eclectic. So it's sort of tongue-in-cheek from many years ago. I said, well, maybe it's just an eclectic Celtic. But world music, you know, I think it is where we've been unbelievably blessed to hear music from all over the world. I also worked at Peter Gabriel's studio, or recorded there off and on over the years, and of course that's such a hotbed of, and has been a hotbed of world music artists from all over, and so I have great regard for the category, as it were, but I think my music sort of even defies that category.
So tell us how we can get our hands on not just the Silent Night single, but Under a Winter's Moon CD and vinyls.
Well, I mean, I think that probably the most reliable way is to order it through our website. There are some retailers, but they're far more sparse than they used to be when I went into Tower Records everywhere. So going to LoreenaMcKennitt.com, we have a store, and we are supported by our friends over at Universal, both in the United States and Canada. So that might be the best way to. I believe they're also available as downloads in most shops that one would expect it.
All right.
So, yeah.
One more question for you, and I know you've done a lot of live albums, Royal Albert Hall, the Alhambra one, which was very well decorated and received. But your first one, mid-'90s, right here at the Palace of Fine Arts. How cool was that?
Yes. That was really great. What amazing building that is. Yeah, that was 93, 94, somewhere in there. Yeah, that was pretty wonderful.
All right, Loreena McKennitt, McKennitt, I should say, McKennitt. Under Winter's Moon is the CD, and vinyl, you say 3 LP vinyl as well. And Silent Night, a song that we all know very well. Loreena, thanks for coming on, and have happy holidays.
And to you and your listeners, thanks so much.
Thank you so much. Wow, such a soft voice, right? It's a good radio voice, too. I wish, hold music was like that. Your call is important to us. I think I told you on the show today, I got a call. Yeah, this is Nick. What's up? Are you a person? I'm AI, but what can I do? It's like it's like AI with an attitude. It's like, I don't know. What are you gonna do? Sometimes, but also this is maybe somebody can answer this. I had the question of why Cam Miller was drafted ahead of Quinn Ewers. Every singer in the history of the world has a Christmas album. So why are there only 8 Christmas songs that play on the radio? Why? Well, I can find you 5 Dolly Parton Christmas albums right now. I'd welcome that. I really would. Instead of Feliz Navidad every 5 seconds. Come on back on Sports Byline.
To sing the moon of wintertime, when all the birds have fled, but mighty Gitchimana listen tinsel choirs instead. Before the flight, the stars.
$5,000. That's the average amount of money people in the U.S. are now spending on gas in a year. $5,000. That's crazy. If you drive, you have to download Upside, the free app that gives you cash back every time you get gas. That's right. You can earn real cash back with Upside just by buying the gas you're already buying. You can literally start earning cash back today.
I use Upside every time I fill up, and I've already made around $200-$300.
You're putting gas in your car anyway. Why not get real cash back? If you like free money, download Upside.
I'm saving the cash I earn from using Upside to help pay for a vacation later this year.
Download the free Upside app now to earn cash back every time you buy gas. Use promo code ROYAL25 to get an extra 25 cents per gallon on your first tank. You can cash out anytime right to your bank, PayPal, or a gift card for Amazon and other brands. Just download the free Upside app and use promo code ROYAL25 for a 25 cents per gallon bonus on your first tank. That's code ROYAL25 for a 25 cents per gallon bonus.
Hey, vacation lovers! It's finally time to use all those random facts you learned on TikTok for something that actually matters. It's the Radio Trivia Challenge from thevacationbuddies.com. All right, here's how it works. Be one of the first 10 callers right now and you'll score a complimentary 3-day, 2-night getaway from the Vacation Buddies. You'll stay at none other than Westgate Resorts in your choice of Vegas, Orlando, Myrtle Beach, or Branson. You ready? According to travel stats, which of these 3 cities is the most visited vacation destination in the U.S.? A, Las Vegas, B, Orlando, C, New York City. First 10 callers get the trip. So stop scrolling and start dialing. And let's see if TikTok actually taught you anything.
Be one of the first 10 callers. Call Vacation Buddies right now. 800-340-1834. 800-340-1834. 800-340-1834. That's 800-340-1834. Time that you could spend writing your book, or even more books. Do what you do best. We can do the rest. Thousands of authors across the nation have trusted our book publishing service. We have the connections to help you get your book printed, distributed, and sold on Amazon, Apple Books, Barnes & Noble, and bookstores nationwide. We can do it faster than you can on your own. Get your free guide to publishing. It's a free phone call. Remember, make this free call right now and learn how to turn your book into something real that people can buy. Get your free writer's guide. Call right now. 800-482-8399. 800-482-8399. 800-482-8399. That's 800-482-8399.
Come again? You know I don't speak Spanish. In English, please.
Tittle beats his servants.
I don't have servants. That's a preposterous thing to even say. 1-800-878-PLAY. 1-800-878-7529. Get in and get heard wherever you might happen to be listening. Coming up in a half hour, we'll have Bruce McCulloch from Kids in the Hall. And an hour from now, we'll have Greg Proops, who's one of my favorites. And he had one of the best tweets or Instagram posts, whatever, on social media. But you might know the Riyadh Comedy Festival. A lot of comedians were in hot water for taking a fat paycheck to perform in Saudi Arabia. And there were tons of big names who went. And two were very outspoken. One was David Cross, saying, how can you never talk about cancel culture again? And Mark Maron said, from the people who brought you 9/11. But Greg Proops had a good tweet. He said, just flew back from the Riyadh Comedy Festival. Boy, are my arms chopped off. All right. The old joke is, I just flew back from Vegas. Boy, are my arms tired. Get it? Crickets. 1-800-878-PLAY. All right, so yesterday I was in a restaurant and I looked up and I saw the NBA Cup final being played between the Knicks and the Spurs, and neutral venue, Vegas. And the Spurs were winning pretty easily. And so I was surprised to see later that the Knicks won by 11, 124-113. And this was the third NBA Cup. They are the third champion. Every single player gets $530,000 bonus money. By the way, the losers got over $200,000. Now, that's nothing to Wemby, but that is a lot of money to the 12th guy on the bench. So the Knicks plan to celebrate at their home game Friday against the Sixers, but they will not hang a banner because they said that will distract from winning the NBA Finals. It's a little bit surprising given the fact that Mike Brown, the head coach, said that they would hang a banner. Brown said, you've got to give Adam, NBA Commissioner Adam Silver, a lot of credit in the NBA League office to create an environment like this because that helps us coach pressure to your group early in the season. This is a single elimination tournament when you get to a certain point, so every game counts. There's pressure on every game if you expect to be who you think you are, and so that pressure is manufactured without you as a coach having to try to do it all the time. To have success doing it, it breeds confidence in everybody within the organization, and that can propel you to come the right time when you're in that environment to be able to handle the pressure because you've already been through it. A lot of positives about it, but the most positive is being able to hang a banner up in MSG, most iconic arena in the league. You've always got to be you. You notice since Mike Brown has taken over how much we talked about him nationally? Not a lot. That's a good sign because whoever coaches the Knicks is always one way or another in the crosshairs of examination. But Mike Brown is such a classy guy. He's been NBA coach the year before, Cleveland. He's been in SAC. He was Steve Kerr's assistant for several years. So I got to interview him a few times. Nicest guy. I know someone who lived near him in SAC and said he just couldn't be a more, polite guy. But beyond nice guys, you don't get hired because you're a nice guy. You get hired because you are a good coach. And he's exactly what they need. Now, this whole idea of a cup is to make it like soccer, where you have a concurrent. And I know it takes a while. If you feel like you don't understand soccer, don't worry about it. It does take a minute if you've just been inculcated on American sports for your whole life, like we all were. The points for a win and a draw, we can kind of look at hockey. Okay, well, what are these talking about? Why is this country playing that country? And then if you're really dumb, you would say, if Lionel Messi's playing for Argentina, why is he in America? Sort of like when Sonny went to AFC and the of Las Angeles said, we got the World Cup coming up. You better do well for America. It's like, no. He's not become American now. He's already had a full cap for South Korea anyway. But one of the things that's cool about the Cup is you have domestic, and then you have what I call reward cups. So winning and losing means more in soccer than any other sport, because if you win, you go to these cup competitions, other teams in other countries, and a few domestically, if you're in the Champions League or Europa League, just taking UEFA, and those are huge spinners. You play under European lights Tuesday, Wednesday, Thursday night, and then you'll play Saturday and Sunday or Monday night in your league. Now, those are the ones that you get rewarded with. And, of course, if you lose, you can be thrown out of the league. Like Nottingham Forest took them over 20 years to get back in the top flight. You don't want to go there. You just don't. And the cups domestically, which is what the NBA Cup is trying to do, because the NBA is never going to have a cup where they play the winner of the Spanish League, or would they? It's just too far away for that to be feasible. Why would have an NFL team in Europe right now? No one. Once Scotty can start beaming people, then maybe we will. But the thing that makes the domestic cup so fun, every country has them. You have the Copa del Rey in Spain. You have the FA Cup in England and the League Cup. They have 2 domestic cups, the only country that has 2 domestic cups. And so you have the Coppa Italia. You have the Weltpokal, Bundesliga in Germany. There are all sorts of domestic cups, and it's a very prestigious thing. And for lack of a better term, the FA Cup final was always called the Super Bowl of England, because we had no other way. It's sort of like in the 1982 World Cup on ABC, it was called the Budweiser World Series of Soccer, because they didn't think Americans would understand. And then they had Roger Twibell, a football announcer, announce it. And I remember there was a throw-in, and he goes, that's good if you get a throw-in, right? This was the guy they picked for the 82 final. But I digress. We've come a long way in America with soccer, right? So, you're in these domestic cups, and it is a knockout phase. Now, in the early rounds, you might get a replay, but the draw comes out. You're either playing at my place or your place, which I call home and away, but in the NFL, they'd call that home and home. Argue till I'm blue in the face on home and home. It's home and away. It's like my friend, when I was growing up, he'd always go, I'll ask Dad. I'm like, no, we're not brothers. You'll ask your dad. That's not his proper name. Okay? No chicks, no cows. Okay? And the thing that makes it interesting is that you can have these cup killers, these minnows, and the Cup is all 4 leagues in England. Now, the FA Cup is open to non-league, and so they start going through that very early. And Tottenham last year played a non-league team. The big boys sit out for a while, but once they come in the third round, they played Tamworth. At Tamworth. Remember, non-league, professional, but just not in the top 4 tiers. And those are over 80 teams. And so the chasm between the two, and it was 0-0 until like the 85th minute, and then Tottenham won 2-0. But you don't ever, but that was the biggest game in the history of Tamworth, that Tottenham Hotspur came to their stadium. So it's cool. It's really cool. And as I mentioned, the FA Cup final used to be like the Super Bowl, because that was the thing, that was the only game all year that the whole country watched. They came out at Wembley, and it had nothing to do with the league. Who won the league? Liverpool, Everton, Arsenal, Chelsea? Who cares? This isn't about the league. It's about the final. Well, like, what do you mean it has nothing about? The team that won the league is probably not playing. It's hard to do the double. First team to ever do the double, Tottenham Hotspur in 1951, and did it again in 1961. So I throw that in. First team to ever win a European trophy, Tottenham Hotspur UEFA Cup. Anyway, that's what makes it so cool. It's a concurrent competition. But the FA Cup is cool because you bring in all the non-league teams. And when you win, you get a place in Europe as well. You can get into the Europa League if you want. That's another way in. How did Tottenham get in the Champions League when they finished above the trapdoor last year? Because they won the Europa Cup. And that's great. It's giving me, a tall Tottenham fan, so many more games. That's taxing. I'd rather not have them play. Screw you. I watch them play as many games as possible. So, the reason this NBA Cup doesn't work is because the Knicks played the Spurs. Ho-hum. Now, if the Knicks had played some minor league basketball team, if they played the Washington Generals, I don't know, we don't have the same structure. We just don't. The only thing that would come close would be baseball, where you'd play a AAA team. But those are affiliated, so that doesn't count. They're not independent sovereign states. So the NBA Cup is always going to be a little bit dull and a little bit weird, and people won't get it. And I know what they're trying to do. The only way it will work is you're going to have to let Canadian teams, Mexican teams, I know, have some European teams fly in. Real Madrid, you know, they have a team. One of those Eurobasket teams. Some from the Balkans that's full of really good Slovenians. Who knows? Have them come in. So the fact that you win this and then you don't hang a banner, that is a stain. And look, hanging that banner doesn't mean the Knicks are going to mail it in and they're going to sit in hammocks and smoke a cigar and eat donuts. Well, we're done for the year. We're in December. Well, we have our banner. I would hope they at least hang a banner after the season. Otherwise, what are we doing? What are we doing with the NBA Cup? I'm Rick Tittle. Come on back.
Strange today, I put $1 in my pocket and I threw it away. Been a long time since the federal dime made the jukebox sound like a man of mine. Don't mind where fix thoughts, my hopes.
Do you have Medicare and do you use a CPAP machine? This is a national healthcare alert regarding your CPAP supplies. Using a clean CPAP mask and clean supplies is important to staying healthy. The best way to make sure your CPAP equipment is clean is to get new supplies. If you have Medicare, we have great news. Medicare will pay for you to have new clean supplies every 90 days. We'll even do all the paperwork for you. There's little to no out-of-pocket cost to you, and you don't even have to leave your home. We provide free home delivery. So if you're a CPAP user and you have Medicare, staying healthy with new CPAP equipment is easy. Just make this free phone call right now to get started.
Sponsored by Specialty Medical. 800-913-9739. 800-913-9739. 800-913-9739. That's 800-913-9739.
Are you over the age of 50? Want peace of mind and financial security for your family? Here's an important message to you from Senior Care USA. The average funeral now costs over $10. That leaves your loved ones the burden of paying your debts and funeral costs. Our plan starts as low as $1 per day and will pay $30,000 to help pay for your funeral and other expenses. There are no medical exams. Your rates will never increase, and your plan cannot be canceled, regardless of your medical conditions, as long as you make your premium payments. Up to $30,000 in final expense insurance. Call now for free information. Just answer a few simple questions and get approved right over the phone in just a few minutes. Call right now.
Call 800-399-6879. 800-399-6879. 800-399-6879. That's 800-399-6879.
Do you want to add a boost to your sex life this weekend? Do you want to make your partner and yourself happy? Then call the special hotline now. We'll sell you those little pills that work below the belt for less than $1 a pill and deliver your package in a few days, just in time for the weekend. Our pill delivers almost the same results as expensive pills for less than $1 a piece, and you don't need a prescription. Ask about their buy 3 get 3 free offer. What are you waiting for? Boost your sex life and have a great time now. Less than $1 a pill, discreet delivery in a few days, and a buy 3 get 3 free offer? Dial this number and save it now.
800-245-2751. 800-245-2751. 800-245-2751. That's 800-245-2751. Paid for by the Pharmacy Shop.
Please let this nightmare stop! Please, I'm begging you to stop!
Snap! Rick Tittle invented FUBU.
All right, ready for hour 2. Bruce McCulloch, Greg Proops, and your calls. 800-878-PLAY. Dominic Jimenez, quick trivia question for you. Ready?
Ready.
Matthew Stafford is now the odds-on favorite to be NFL MVP ahead of Drake May, Josh Allen, Jordan Love, and Bo Nix. He's 37 years old. If he does win it, he will become the 6th player 37 or older to win MVP. Can you tell me the other 5?
Breeze?
No.
No. Tom Brady?
Yes.
Peyton Manning?
Yes.
Brett Favre?
No.
Dan Marino?
Nope.
Elway?
Nope.
No, Joe Montana didn't do it. I'm pathetically only going to get 2.
Okay. 1 you should have had. Aaron Rodgers won it twice.
I didn't realize he was,
Yeah.
Won it that recently.
Yeah, in 2020 he was 37, and in 2021 he was 38. The other 2, one of them I already got. I know Rich Gannon, he was 37 in 2002, and then he was the worst quarterback in Super Bowl history with 5 interceptions. The first guy to do it in 1963 played for the Niners and the Giants.
Is that Y.A. Tittle?
Yes, that's right. Gramps. Grandpa told me, one day you'll be the greatest brain surgeon of all time. No, I'm not related. I was like telling the story doing a TV show with Dan Brzezinski, voice of the Sharks. Oh, Rick, I'm a huge fan of the New York Giants, and I was just wondering if you had any relation to Y.A. Tittle. And I was like, no. He's like, all right, nice talking to you. I'll be out in the car. All right, as I mentioned, 2 more hours of amazing, titillating entertainment. I'm Rick Tittle. Come on back on Sports Byline.
Mike Sempervive with the Sports Byline Broadcasting Network 2-minute warning. And I know you've been wondering, Mike, where you been? Well, I'm not going to hold you. I've just been lazy. Took an extra day off. I apologize. I'll go on a little bit longer today to make up for it. Hopefully hearing the last commentary so many times will keep Mets fans talked off the ledge until free agency is over. We know that's a lie. Most people stay on the ledge, but Now that Monday Night Football is over, I'll take a look back at the last few days and give you some of my thoughts. And I'll start with the fallout of head coach Sharon Moore's sad tale at the University of Michigan as rumored names to replace him have begun swirling. Coaches like Jed Fish and Kenny Dillingham might be realistic, but it also feels like Michigan would be interested in talking to plenty of NFL guys, not the least of which would be Baltimore's John Harbaugh, whose time with the Ravens feels like it's running out. 44-year-old grandfather Philip Rivers didn't die on Sunday, playing in the NFL for the first time in 5 years. So that was nice. What wasn't as nice was the collapse of the once promising Colts playoff chances, and it also wasn't nice for Seattle, who looked terrible and now on a short week needs to step up their game or risk being beaten down further by the Rams. The Chiefs lost in ugly fashion to the Chargers, ending their 10-year playoff run and losing Patrick Mahomes to a torn left ACL, and it's reassessment time in Kansas City. Mahomes makes a ton of money, as does Travis Kelce, and the Chiefs also have the NFL's highest paid kicker, defensive lineman, center, and guard. Right tackle Jawan Taylor already feels like a looming postseason cut, but the Chiefs front office has a lot of hard decisions upcoming in order to keep their dynasty moving. The loss of Micah Parsons, also to a torn left ACL, was not just terrible for the Packers, but also terrible for fans of great defensive players. Along with Myles Garrett, Parsons is the elite, and losing him for the playoffs is a loss for the game. And Fernando Mendoza won the Heisman Trophy on Saturday night, which was both expected and well-deserved, although a strong case could have been made for any of the Final Four. In fact, Diego Pavia himself must have thought he had the strongest case, because after Mendoza was announced as the winner, Pavia took to social media to tell the Heisman voters they could fornicate with themselves in ways that are anatomically impossible. He's since apologized, but for a quarterback who is barely 6 feet tall, it was a bad look to NFL types who are already looking to hold things against you. And it was also a good reminder to everyone that it's okay to put the phone down for a little bit if you're upset and or inebriated before you hit send on that text or social media post. I'm Mike Sempervive with the Sports Byline Broadcasting Network 2-Minute Warning.
Every champion has a team behind them, and for thousands of families without insurance, Christ Clinic is that team. At Christ Clinic in Katy, Texas, they provide high-quality, faith-based health care to people who can't afford it, because everyone deserves a shot at health, no matter their income or insurance status. Their doctors, volunteers, their mission, rooted in compassion, their impact, over 10,000 patient visits every year and growing. But they can't do it without help from fans like you. If you ever cheered for a comeback story, this is your chance to be a part of one. Donate today at ChristClinicKaty.org and help them keep the doors open for those who need it most. One gift can be the difference between surviving and thriving. Christ Clinic in Katy, where health meets hope and faith goes to work. That's Christ Clinic Katy, spelled KATY.org. Team up with them today.
Have you been daydreaming about losing weight for years? Do you just yo-yo back and forth? At Innovative Wellness Center, we have a holistic weight loss program that allows you to lose up to 20 pounds in 30 days. People are losing weight like crazy and keeping it off. It can be done from anywhere in the United States. Go to our website at www.innovativewellness.center and schedule your complimentary consultation today.
Getting together with friends to watch the game? Then you'll need American Premium Vodka. Handcrafted and pure, this is the one thing all Americans agree on. Founder Mark Gus Scott chose the finest natural elements America has to offer, and you'll taste how great it is to be an American. Now available at Bevmo, Golf, Hy-Vee, and Fairway stores. American Premium Vodka. This is the America we need right now. Go to AmericanPremiumVodka.com. Celebrate responsibly. Every champion has a team behind them, and for thousands of families without insurance, Christ Clinic is that team. At Christ Clinic in Katy, Texas, they provide high-quality, faith-based health care to people who can't afford it, because everyone deserves a shot at health, no matter their income or insurance status. Their doctors, volunteers, their mission, rooted in compassion, their impact, over 10,000 patient visits every year and growing. But they can't do it without help from fans like you. If you ever cheered for a comeback story, this is your chance to be a part of one. Donate today at ChristClinicKaty.org and help them keep the doors open for those who need it most. One gift can be the difference between surviving and thriving. Christ Clinic in Katy, where health meets hope and faith goes to work. That's Christ Clinic Katy, spelled KATY.org. Team up with them today.
Rick Tittle knows.
I hate that guy.
I love that guy. Oh my gosh, he's so fine. Rick Tittle brings home the bacon, fries it up in a pan, and then he eats it. Ricky in the hizzle for shizzle, snatch.
Thank you for that, and welcome back to the show. Rick Tittle with you, coast to coast and around the world on the American Forces Radio. So, it's, I'm going to have to ask if J.D. Sharp does show up, I got to ask him about Bud Crawford retiring, because he is a friend of Terrence Crawford, the boxer, 38 years old. And it's kind of a surprise that he announced he was retiring last night, because just a couple of months ago, he went up against Canelo Alvarez, and beat him to stay 42-0, undefeated, 31 knockouts, and lay really a legitimate claim to being the best boxer of his generation. You know, I don't think we talk enough about Bud Crawford, but an interesting guy, a family man. I say that because I think a lot of boxers are very blinged out and showy and Tony, and why not, you know? But as I said, he's getting close to 40, and who knows? It could have been something where he was like, yeah, I don't have the commitment, I don't have the desire, or it could just be he opened a cereal box from the bottom and it all poured out on the floor, and his wife was like, you got to stop boxing. And he'd be like, yeah, you're right. So we didn't really get an explanation. But Bud Crawford, plus what a great old-fashioned name, just Bud. What's your nickname? I am the throwing Samoan. You know, I am the Italian stallion. What's your nickname? It's Bud. Oh, okay. Sounds good. All right, 1-800-878-PLAY, TuneIn app, iHeartRadio app, Stitcher app, Twitch.tv, there I am. So hot, so fine, so handsome. And CRN Digital +2, the cable radio network, Channel 2 and your cable provider around the world on American Forces Radio Network, saluting the troops out there as well. Twitter is @Rick Tittle, and Titillating Sports with Rick Tittle is the Facebook fan page. Post a blurb, respond to mine. Just come on back.
My fellow Americans, the message ring out that from this day forward, when you're American, you buy the best. Handcrafted, something premium, something pure. For this very essence of what our servicemen and women gave their lives to protect, and by God, we shall not allow their sacrifice to be forgotten. It's time to show the world just how great American can be. And we will not wait for tomorrow to come. We will stand here, this moment, together, and we will start today. Ever forget how great it is to be American. America we need right now. American Premium Vodka. Celebrate responsibly.
Every champion has a team behind them, and for thousands of families without insurance, Christ Clinic is that team. At Christ Clinic in Katy, Texas, they provide high-quality, faith-based health care to people who can't afford it, because everyone deserves a shot at health, no matter their income or insurance status. Their doctors, volunteers, their mission, rooted in compassion, their impact, over 10,000 patient visits every year, and growing. But they can't do it without help from fans like you. If you ever cheered for a comeback story, this is your chance to be a part of one. Donate today at ChristClinicKaty.org and help them keep the doors open for those who need it most. One gift can be the difference between surviving and thriving. Christ Clinic in Katy, where health meets hope and faith goes to work. That's Christ Clinic Katy, spelled Katy.org. Team up with them today.
Packages start at $29.99 a month with sign agreement. Restrictions apply. Speak to a representative for complete offer details. See Vivint.com for license details. Terms and conditions apply.
Homeowners, if you're looking for the best in home security and smart home technology at a price you can actually afford, we have great news. Now you can get Vivint's award-winning home security systems starting at about $1 a day. U.S. News and World Report has recognized Vivint as the best professionally installed home security system of 2022. And right now, you can get Vivint's home security technology for about $1 a day. Plus, get free professional installation from a licensed technician. Protect your home and loved ones for as low as $1 a day. Call right now for your free home security consultation.
800-918-6189. 800-918-6189. 800-918-6189. That's 800-918-6189.
Hour 2 of titillating sports. You thought it couldn't get any better, but it's better. Rick Tittle's back. He's so great. I can't believe how awesome he is. More sports talk, yes. Couldn't get any better, but it's better. Rick Tittle is back. He's so great. I can't believe how awesome he is. More sports talk, yes. Hour 2 of titillating sports.
Hey, check out Channel 9. Check out Rick Tittle.
Thank you for that, and welcome back to the show. Rick Tittle with you, nationally syndicated out of San Francisco and around the world on the American Forces Radio Network. 23rd San Francisco Sketch Fest will take place here in town January 15th through February 1st. So many great acts. And we have one of the gentlemen on the show this right now. I think it's his 4th time on the show. Great to have former Kids in the Hall member, Bruce McCulloch. He's going to be at Kids in the Hall Brain Candy 30th Anniversary Live Read at the Sidney Goldstein Theater, a really nice theater down by City Hall. That will be on January 31st. Saturday night at 8 p.m. Bruce, welcome back to the show. And I was just wondering, as a kid who was born in Edmonton but then went to high school in Calgary, as you say, what is that rivalry like? Because we know like Oilers and Flames, but you're all Albertans. But is there like a blood rivalry between those two oil towns?
Oh yeah, no. It's like each one thinks the other one is greasier and has. And as you know, there's so many fights in the street, and you know, at the halfway point, which is Red Deer, they sort of meet up and they just like to pound each other. It's not the cities that I crawled out of. It's a little bit better now, but it's still there.
It's interesting. A couple of from the Bay Area, and my cousin and a friend about 15 years ago went on a road trip to watch the Sharks at the Saddle Dome. And they're wearing their Sharks jerseys, and they were about to get beaten by a pulp until they found out that they were from the Bay Area and they were supporting their team. And then they didn't pay for a drink all night. It was sort of like, we respect you for traveling, but if you were local and you had on that jersey, you were dead.
Well, that would not make sense. Who from San Jose? There's no reason to be in Calgary other than that. Well, that shows the kindness of the Calgarians, I think.
Yeah, I think that's pretty cool. By the way, earlier in the show, I had Canadian singer Loreena McKennitt show. And
yes, of course.
Yeah, she has the Order of Canada, the Order of Manitoba. As we say in America, how come you ain't got none?
Well, yeah, I sometimes mutter as I go for KFC at 2 a.m. Where's my Order of Canada? Where's mine? So I think we'll get it. We'll get it soon. Hopefully one of us won't die before we do.
All right. Because I just want to throw in, I think you guys are very deserving.
Well, I do too, but I don't want to say that on a radio station. That would be verboten.
Yeah, you'd be self-promoting, and Canadians are much more classy and humble, right?
Yeah. I always say when I do my hype videos, come to my show or not.
If you're busy, it's okay.
Yeah.
So tell me, what was Lorne Michaels' involvement? Because we know he started Saturday Night Live 50 years ago. He's a fellow Canadian. How was he connected with Kids in the Hall?
Well, Mark and I had written for Kids in the Hall. We were scouted by Al Franken and Jim Downey, the head writer, and somehow they picked Mark and I to be writers, much to the chagrin of Dave, Scott, and Kevin. And then he came the next summer, and it was like either we were going to go back to SNL, Mark and I, and then he saw us and he said, or we could do our own TV show. And so that's kind of what happened. And I think he liked that we were, his term, of a piece, right? We are our own, we're the replacements of comedy or something. But we were, he didn't want to break us up, because that probably would have happened if we'd done more work on SNL.
So go ahead.
But it happened slowly. It seemed like it happened fast, but it seemed to take forever in a young man's mind.
When you were writing at 30 Rock, was it Tuesday night where you were expected to stay up all night because it's a story about Larry David leaving at 11 and saying, I'm done for the night?
Yeah, and I also remember the great Jim Handy, who was a really great writer. He's famous for Deep Thoughts and a bunch of other things. He would leave at like 6 and we'd go, yeah, you hack, you don't care. And then, of course, we'd read his stuff in the morning, and it would be perfect. Ours would be like a spewed mess. So I think the working overnight thing is kind of overrated a little bit if you actually get your work done.
Very good. So let's talk about this show. Not only is it going to be a great show, but you've added the great Bob Odenkirk, who is now an action film star as well.
Yeah, we are going to karate the F out of him on stage, even though we're doing a stage reading. But we have a thing like Dave will distract him. Kevin will jump at him from the wings. It's going to be good. And then Scott will come in and just, go to the stomach. But no, he's an old pal of ours. And of course, we run in the same circles forever. And it's great that he can come and do some stuff with us.
I got to meet Bob Odenkirk many years ago, and Dana Gould was nice enough to introduce me to him backstage at an event. And Bob said, he goes, "This is my friend Rick." And Bob goes, "Are you a stand-up?" I said, "No, I'm a radio host." And he said, "Oh, okay." And that was it. And then after that, people said, Odenkirk is he's kind of famous for being surly. And then I mentioned that to I'm dropping names here, Robert Smigel. He goes, "No, he's my best friend. He's not surly." So I think sometimes people come with these reps and they're not really earned.
Yeah, no, and he's a charming guy. I worked with someone once who said, I was saying, "Are you mad? Are you mad?" He said, "No, that's just the way my face looks. I have eyebrows that make me look mad all the time." And I think Odenkirk has a little serious face that, but boy, when you get him to laugh, it's really delicious.
Oh, yeah, that Curb episode where he was the porn star. I mean, that was he had the party at his house. I mean, and then of course Mr. Show with David Cross, which is gold. That was kind of when you were right in your pocket at the same time, right?
Yeah, and I sort of stayed away from that show because we were on, in our boat doing our thing.
Yeah.
And I only found it later and saw how great it was.
Well, the crazy thing about Kids in the Hall, like there's always, I don't want to say a weak link, but there's always somebody who's like, that guy or that girl wasn't as funny. I don't want to name names, but like even on SCTV, there might be one where it's like they can't all be gold. Why were you guys all good? I mean, was it just kind of a weird coincidence?
Are you out of your mind? Have you seen the show? There's 4 really funny guys who have controlled skill set. And then there's one little guy with a wobbly head whose hands won't stop moving. And that effer is me, and he is not very good. Luckily, I can write like the wind, so they kept me in the show, in the troupe.
We can say this now because it's your big hit, but I remember this was like 1991 maybe, and I was working in TV, and I was talking to a guy I work with, and we were talking about Kids in the Hall, and he goes, the short guy bugs me. I don't like his face. So
that's fair.
But I was thinking, I probably shouldn't even brought it up. I can laugh about it now because, like I said, you're how many years into your career? You're like 35 years into this?
Oh, closer 40 actually.
40.
From the very beginning.
Wow.
Yeah.
All right.
And I haven't had a day off yet.
So let's talk about the show. As I mentioned, 31st, 8 p.m., Sidney Goldstein Theater, Kids in the Hall, Brain Candy, 30th anniversary live read with Bob Odenkirk. What are we going to get?
We're going to get some music. We're going to have a live band with Allison Baker and her friends. We're going to have some of the visuals from the show. We're going to have a couple other people pop up in parts. You're going to see us F around. And it's, we've done live readings before, but I think because we're getting the band this time and, working on the visuals, it's going to be really fun.
Bruce McCulloch, or as they say in Scotland, what is it, McCulloch?
Yes, exactly.
All right, Bruce McCulloch, the pride of Canada. And I'm going to see what I can do about at least the Order of Alberta. How about that?
Well, how about the Order of Brayside, which is where I grew up in Calgary?
All right, we'll work on the...
Right by the DQ, they have a little thing where they put your name down on chalk.
You get the key to the city. That'll be good. Hey, Bruce, man, have fun while you're in town, and thanks for coming by again.
Yep, appreciate it so much.
All right, I'm Rick Tittle. I feel bad I told him that story. The guy didn't like his face. But it's too late now. I'm Rick Tittle. Come on back.
What's that on that beat? Oh.
I'm different, yeah, I'm different. I'm different, yeah, I'm different. I'm different, yeah, I'm different. Pull up to the scene with my ceiling missing. Pull up to the scene with my ceiling missing. Pull up to the scene with my ceiling missing. Pull up to the scene with my ceiling missing. Middle finger up to my competition.
Do you need to sell your home? If you've sold a home before, you remember how stressful and expensive it was. Sold.com is here to help you sell your home for the most money and with the least amount of stress. There are new ways to sell your home that you've never heard of before. Did you know there are companies who'll offer you cash for your home? Did you know you could trade in your home for a new one? Did you know there are realtors who'll sell your home for a flat fee instead of an expensive commission? It's true. Sold.com services are free. So if you're looking to sell, make this free phone call right now and learn how your next home sale can be faster and easier than you ever thought possible. Pick up your cell phone and call right now. 800-251-7816. 800-251-7816. 800-251-7816. That's 800-251-7816.
I am an American veteran. I'm proud to have served this country. Helping veterans is something all Americans can participate in, and it's as simple as donating an old car that you have sitting around. When you call the Veteran Car Donation Program, they'll explain how their program works, and then arrange a time they can come and pick up your vehicle for free. Running or not, it doesn't matter. They take cars, trucks, motorcycles, or vans. Show your support by donating your car and get a tax deduction in the process. Call the Veteran Car Donation Program right now. They'll come and pick your car up for free, and you'll get a tax deduction in the process. Call the number we're about to give you right now. Thank you, and God bless America.
800-887-1097. 800-887-1097. 800-887-1097. That's 800-887-1097.
Hello, Americans. It's Uncle Sam here. If you owe $10,000 or more in back taxes to the IRS or state, don't worry. I've got important news that may help you negotiate a lower tax bill. In today's economy, the IRS has released a variety of new rules and is offering more flexible terms to help Americans looking to settle their IRS debt. If you apply today, we may be able to lift your wage garnishments and release a freeze on your bank assets or business. Our team of tax professionals can resolve your case and stop collection actions against you. Even if you've been audited or haven't filed a return in years, they can help. Call right now and find out if you qualify to settle your IRS debt for far less than what you owe. Pick up your phone right now and call us for a free $500 IRS tax review. Don't wait. Here's the number.
Call right now. 800-943-9215. 800-943-9215. 800-943-9215. Again, for the last time, that's 800-943-9215.
Look at me. Look at me. Don't look at anybody else. Don't look at the fat-ass losers or freaks. You look at me!
Rick Tittle will fight anyone listening to this.
Hey, Greg Proops coming up in the next segment. An embarrassment of riches. 1-800-878-PLAY. 1-800-878-7529. Like I said, I shouldn't feel that bad, but I kind of felt bad. I said the guy in 1991 said he didn't like his face. There was one time, this might be bad radio because I'm not going to name names, but I'll tell the story. There was a certain Bay Area sports executive who didn't like one of my colleagues. And one day that sports executive was going to be interviewed by me, and my producer had to clear it with him because the guy said he wanted to make sure it wasn't with that quote-unquote F-tard blank. And I thought everyone knew the story, and like a year ago I saw him, I'm like, oh yeah, remember when blah blah called you an F-tard? He was like, wait, what? What happened? I was like, oh no. I'm so sorry. He goes, he called me that? I was like, why me and my big mouth? I go, I thought everybody knew that story. Like, no. It's a good time to just shut your mouth, Rick. Why don't you just shut your mouth? Well, that would be bad right now because I'm to do the opposite of that. 1 plus F-tard is a really mean thing to say. And it's not very PC as well. All right. Rick, quit talking. What's the in Anchorman? Why don't you sit this one out? What was David Koechner? Whammy, not Chief. I forgot his name. Anyway, all right.
Champ,
thank you. Why don't you sit this one out, Champ? I love you, Ron. I love your musk. Your smell. All right. That's great. Why don't you sit out a few innings? So we had the NBA Cup last night, and in Las Vegas, everybody knows the NBA is going to Vegas. They're the last ones. The A's are building what could be the best stadium in America. It's just, if it's going to look and the roof does what it says, and the iridescence and the skyline, it could be one of the coolest stadiums on the planet. Now then again, it could be a eyesore freaking disaster, but if it goes well, it could be. And so hockey was there with an expansion team. The NFL and the NBA and the MLB took Oakland teams. And by the way, I have nothing against Vegas because Vegas didn't come in the middle of the night with Mayflower vans. And do you know what a Mayflower van is, Dom? Yes or no? Thumbs up, thumbs down? Probably not. Yes? No. Okay. In the 70s, that was the only thing that moved you. So if you ever moved, you'd have a Mayflower van, the semi. And when Art Modell moved the Colts, not Art Modell, forget it. When the Colts moved to Indianapolis, it was in the middle of the night. And they had the Ursays, they had Mayflower vans. That's all they had on the news were the Mayflower vans moving away. So, what was that, in 84 or something? If that happened where Vegas came in and stole the Oakland teams, then I would hate Vegas. But now, if you live in Vegas and they're like, hey, do you, these Oakland teams want to move here? And we'll build stadiums for them. Great. We're going to take money from public schools. Public schools suck anyway. They're not going to miss a pencil or two. Let's do it. Let's do it. So I said, I'm not mad. They're like, oh, you took our teams. They did not take our teams. Our freaking a-hole owners moved the teams there. All right? It just reminds me of, once again, a story of working in radio, and we would get our shifts when I was working in 95.7, and it was always damn no matter what. It's like, you're going to work the next 9 days. Every night after your show, so you're going to be doing 7 hours of sports talk a day, and then you're going to work all weekend doing A's pre and post. I'd be like, oh my gosh, that sucks. But then if I got my schedule, very rarely, and I got no shifts. I was like, what? This sucks. Everything sucks, but whenever somebody got the weekend shift, the guy I worked with would be like, don't you hate that guy? Why? He said yes to work. What did he do wrong? So I just want to clear that up. Vegas did not take the Oakland teams. The fact that they welcomed him with open arms, why wouldn't they? Why wouldn't they? Just be real. Just take a step back from your anger. So, while in Vegas, Commissioner Adam Silver was talking about expansion. He said, I think we're now in the process of working with our teams, gauging the levels of interest and having a better understanding of what economics would be on the ground for those particular teams. Then, sometime in 2026, we'll make a determination. So, now that does set a timeline. Next year, at least for the decision. And certainly Las Vegas is a slam dunk. And everybody else thinks Seattle is a slam dunk. I don't think Seattle should be a slam dunk. I think they should be in the hopper. But they already had a team and lost it. Maybe somebody else should get a chance. I mean, why don't you put one in San Diego? That's a smaller market. All right, fine. But I'm just saying, you to just assume. What about the St. Louis Hawks? What about them? So Vegas is a no-brainer. That's where everyone's going. And the city, everyone listening to me on KSHP 1400, you know how Vegas is expanding. You just fly in. You used to fly in. I saw it, just the Strip. And now it's got millions of people there. And there's neighborhoods all the way out to like Red Rock now. It's cray, man. All the way down to the dam. And so when someone said to Silver, well, you looking at Vegas? You looking at Seattle? Silver said, it's not a secret. We're looking at this market in Las Vegas. We are looking at Seattle. We've looked at other markets as well. I'd say I want to be sensitive there about this notion that we're somehow teasing these markets because I know we've been talking about it for a while. As I've said before, domestic expansion as opposed to doing a new league in Europe is selling equity in this current league. If you own 1/30th of this league, now you own 1/32nd if you add two teams. So it's a much more difficult economic analysis. In many ways, it requires predicting the future. And he concludes, quote, at the same time, I think Seattle and Las Vegas are two incredible cities. Obviously, we had a team in Seattle that had great success. We have a WNBA team here in Las Vegas in the Aces. We've been playing the Summer League here for 20 years. We're playing our cup games here. So we're very familiar with this market. Now, the whole trade-off of you've got to split a little bit of the pie, how many owners are jumping up and down screaming? I'm sure that's just kind of a wince. You're still, I mean, the money they're going to get from expansion fees, hundreds of millions, are going to go straight to the bottom line. It's not going to be shared with players. Every owner gets a check. So when they were talking about relocation and not expansion, Silver said the league doesn't have the right to relocate a team, but relocating a team requires that team's desire to be relocated, specifically the governor. It's a process where you apply to relocate. Now, when he said the governor, he means the owner. And you can't say owner because if you really want to take the word owner, I mean, it has bad implications. You're the governor of your motorcycle. You don't own it. He concludes, I'd also say just because some markets don't generate the same revenues as others, it doesn't mean they are markets that are not worthy of NBA franchises. If you look in our Constitution, the factors that the owners are required to look at in making the determination whether to relocate a team go to support that team, has historically had in that community, the operation of that team, the competitive opportunity in that market. All right, so, Indianapolis, think about how big a state Indiana is for basketball. And they don't have an NBA team. So I would rather Seattle not get a team. I've already seen
Indiana has the Pacers.
Indiana has the Pacers. You had to tell me. Now, when I say something stupid, let me know. But there are other teams. I would rather have Seattle not get a team. And the Pacers went to the NBA Finals last year. That tells you how much they're in my mind. Seattle Sonics, you had your chance. I'm Rick. Come back with Big Proops.
Every champion has a team behind them. And for thousands of families without insurance, Christ Clinic is that team. At Christ Clinic in Katy, Texas, they provide high-quality, faith-based health care to people who can't afford it, because everyone deserves a shot at health, no matter their income or insurance status. Their doctors, volunteers, their mission, rooted in compassion, their impact, over 10,000 patient visits every year and growing. But they can't do it without help from fans like you. If you ever cheered for a comeback story, this is your chance to be a part of one. Donate today at ChristClinicKaty.org and help them keep the doors open for those who need it most. One gift can be the difference between surviving and thriving. Christ Clinic in Katy, where health meets hope and faith goes to work. That's Christ Clinic Katy, spelled Katy.org. Team up with them today.
Have you been daydreaming about losing weight for years? You just yo-yo back and forth? At Innovative Wellness Center, we have a holistic weight loss program that allows you to lose up to 20 pounds in 30 days. People are losing weight like crazy and keeping it off. It can be done from anywhere in the United States. Go to our website at www.innovativewellness.center and schedule your complimentary consultation today.
Getting together with friends to watch the game? Then you'll need American Premium Vodka. Handcrafted and pure, this is the one thing all Americans can agree on. Founder Mark Gus Scott chose the finest natural elements America has to offer, and you'll taste how great it is to be an American. Now available at Bevmo, GoPuff, Hy-Vee, and Fairway stores. American Premium Vodka. This is the America we need right now. Go to AmericanPremiumVodka.com. Celebrate responsibly.
If you've got a property that you've been trying to sell and you've tried almost everything, I want to tell you about something that you haven't tried yet. You're going to think this offer is too good to be true, but it's not. Thousands of customers have sold their homes in any condition with Need to Sell My Home. This is a real opportunity from a highly rated company that buys homes all over the country. Did you know it's possible to sell your home right over the phone with no real estate commissions and no pesky open houses? Plus, every offer is a cash offer with no mortgage holdups. To find out how much you can sell your home or property for, call now. Take 5 minutes of your time and call for this 100% free quote to sell your home.
800-430-0674. 800-430-0674. 800-430-0674. That's 800-430-0674.
What would you say you do here? Well, look, I already told you. I deal with the customers so the engineers don't have to. I have people skills. I am good at dealing with people. Can't you understand it? What the hell is wrong with you people?
Rick Tittle will fight anyone listening to this.
Thank you for that, and welcome back to the show. We're waiting on Greg Proops, and when he proops up, we will throw him on the air. I think he's he's doing some New Year's Eve shows. I've never gone to a comedy club on New Year's Eve where the show starts at 10. It's a long show, first of all, 2-hour show. And then you have the drop. The last place I would ever want to be on New Year's Eve on the face of the planet would be Times Square. I never understood why people get so excited for it, but I just think it's usually like 8 degrees, and then everyone is just completely packed in, and it doesn't seem like a lot of fun. All right, we do have Greg Proops with us, one of my all-time favorite comedians, and he's here to talk about his shows that will be Tuesday, December 30th, 2 shows, 9 and 9:15 at the Punchline, and then New Year's Eve, 7:30, and then the 10 o'clock show will take you all the way up to the drop. Greg, it's great to have you on again. We just had you a few weeks ago for your new album, and I was just mentioning that Times Square seems like a horrific place to be, shoulder to shoulder, 8-degree weather. Have you ever done a Times Square New Year's Eve?
I haven't. Excuse me. I'm sure it's exciting, but yeah, I'm not a big crowd person like that. However, years ago there was a show that was a rival to The View, and it was 4 men. This was in like the early 2000s, and Dick Clark was one of the hosts, right? So I went on, and it was like me and Mario Lopez and Dick Clark and Danny Bonaducci, and it was right at this time of year. And everybody said what they were doing on New Year's, and I said, I'm playing in San Francisco. And I turned to Dick Clark, and I said, what are you doing for New Year's, Dick? And I thought he was going to slug me. The whole audience became hysterical, of course, because he had been doing Times Square for 100 years at that point. And Dick Clark was a nice enough person, but he did not have a sense of humor about that.
Wow.
But I couldn't resist. I'm like, what are you doing? And he just clammed up, and the audience. Danny Bonaducci, I'm pretty proud of, from the Partridge Family. Really thought that was funny.
Well, that was before or after he boxed Canseco.
Right?
Do you know what's so bizarre is that this is about me for a second, in 1983,
Please.
1983, I was 18, and I was in Rome with my Italian girlfriend. We went to the catacombs.
This story's hot, Rick.
I know, it's starting off hot. So we're in the catacombs under Rome, and it was us and another couple. And this priest is taking us through, showing us stuff. And the other guy with his hot girl was Ralph Malph. It was Donnie Most.
Oh, my God.
Yeah, just the redhead thing reminded me. And so I'm like, look, it's Ralph Malph. She's like, no, it's not. So a couple of years ago, he came on my show. I asked him, I told him the timing, and he said, yes, that was me.
Oh, my God.
That's
fantastic.
That's my greatest brush with greatness until I met Greg Proops.
Exactly. I just saw the Italian girlfriend stories, Rick.
She was actually very mean.
Oh, that makes it even hotter. I'm sorry. I apologize for being excited by that. But a mean Italian girlfriend is exactly the way you need to start every Christmas story.
She would ask me every 5 minutes, did you wash your hands? Did you wash your hands? I went, no, it's been 5 minutes, and I haven't, dived through the mud.
Oh, Rick, you need to say see, Bella. See.
All I wanted back then was agua. It was too hot.
I bet.
Do you know I drank out of those fountains?
Did you drink out of a fountain in Italy?
I watched all the Italians do it. I said, what a bunch of idiots. I gave in, and I still have parasites. I was in Pompeii throwing up in someone's former lounge.
Wow. You drank out of a fountain in Italy, and it made you sick. And no one told you don't drink out of a fountain in Italy. You might be sick from that.
With big bottles of Avion in my backpack, I still did, yeah.
Well, you know what? There's a side to you that I really never expected of the kind of person who's heedless enough to drink out of a public fountain in Pompeii.
Well,
I mean, I've been to Italy, and I've been to Rome, and I've been to the fountains of Trevi and all that. And at no point did I go, I should really dip a cup in here, because Marcello Mastroianni and Anita Ekberg were in this fountain once, and it really sounds like a great idea to
Well,
up your weekend.
I have no defense outside of I didn't dip it up, but it was ones that were coming over like out of the mouth of a gargoyle, and the Italians would line up and open their mouths like baby birds, and I thought, what a bunch of idiots. That was full of germs. But it got to that part where it was so hot I couldn't get any water. I'm like, I can't take it anymore. I need water.
But you said you had Evian in your backpack.
Well, maybe right then I didn't.
Okay, all right. Listen, I don't mean to be like a stickler, but they live there, so they're used to the germs. It's kind of like going to India or Mexico and you watch everybody drink fruit juice from a stand, and you're like, I'm going to have one of those. And then you wait a minute. They use the knife, they've washed the knife in hose water, and I can't eat the hose water because I'll die.
Well, it's like my friend when I said, knock on wood, I go, yeah, I never got COVID, I guess because I got a vax. And she said, no, you right, Bart, you've already had COVID 500 times.
No kidding, especially if you get off at, Fruitville.
Civic Center, yeah.
Right? We went to India years ago at Christmas time to do a gig, my wife and I and Jeff Davis from Who's Line. And there were fruit stands in the park and stuff, where you could drink, get really fresh fruit drinks, and they looked fabulous. And then we walked behind it, and you could see the hose that went into the bucket where they had the knives that they were cutting the fruit. And we'd been told, do not, under any circumstances, you're not from India. You are not going to live through this. And then there were a pack of wild dogs at the park, and we got back to the hotel, and we avoided the pack of wild dogs. And we got in a taxi, and Jennifer said, are there wild dogs at the other park that's nearby? And the guy went, no, those are where the monkeys are.
Yeah.
And at that point, we were like, I'm a little overwhelmed.
Well, I got to give
a little too much humanity.
Speaking of sort of that area of the world, I was listening to Mark Norman and Joe List, and they were talking about how they loved your post. They said it was pure gold about the Riyadh thing. He said, I just flew back in Riyadh and my arms chopped off.
Yeah, we went to Saudi Arabia years ago with Drew Carey to do the USO, and we played at Eagle Base. We played in outside of Riyadh, and we played in Oman. We played at a base, you'll like this, Rick. A colonel got on our bus with all of our comedians, and this is all the Who's Line cast. And he said, where we are right now doesn't exist.
Wow.
And we were like, okay, that's kind of a metaphysical thing for someone in the Air Force to tell us. And then he's like, you need to know that the world does not know that this space exists. And I thought, what a great thing to tell my wife later. And I was also told by an officer who gave me a dishtash, the headdress, right, with the rings and everything.
Sure.
And he said, homosexuality, drugs, and all those things don't exist here. They do exist, but they don't officially exist.
Wow. That's kind of like Clinton's don't ask, don't tell.
Pretty much. So Saudi is that was I've been to Saudi Arabia and I played for the troops there, but as far as going over to do stand-up comedy, I don't know about that. I don't think it's a very good idea.
Well, I know they had rules and a lot of big names went, and of course the golfers who left, and I don't think I'm in a position to judge anyone, because if I was offered that money, I don't know if I could say no to that. It's all very sticky.
Oh, I think I could say no, but I know what you're saying. Heaven knows we've all done gigs for giant evil corporations, but the Saudis is a different matter.
What is the you don't have to name it, but what was the one gig where you took a check and you did the whole thing with a frown inside?
I played the IBM corporate party in Antalya, Turkey, and I was living in England at the time. And one of the women that they brought in a bunch of English comics and TV people to entertain these IBM middle management. They had to assign her a bodyguard because the guys kept groping her and throwing her in the pool every 2 seconds. And so I got up and someone went, why did you have to leave England? And I said, because I have all my teeth and a chin. And they did not care for me after that, Rick. So I got back to the room, and the next day there was a fax, you remember those?
Sure.
In my room, and it said, we've been having a bit of a chat, and we decided that you shouldn't do the show on Thursday, but thanks for coming. And by the way, the whole crowd was wearing togas and was absolutely hammered beyond recognition. They were the drunkest English people in the world, and they were all dressed in Roman garb.
Wow.
And it was a free for all. And so I took the money, and then we rented a car and we drove and went and saw Turkey because we didn't have to do the other gigs. So my wife and I are pretty happy about it.
No, that's great. I remember your line years ago about how in America you're Buddy Holly, but in England, because of proportions, you're hot.
Yeah, no, I'm super sexy in England. And in America, yeah. I'm English 9. That's the thing. It's like being a Republican. Rick, if I was you saw those pictures in Vanity Fair of the cabinet yesterday. If I was a Republican, I'd be like an 8. I mean, I'd be above Matt Gaetz. You know what I mean? That's the thing. I'm from San Francisco. I'm too liberal. As a liberal, I'm like a 6. You know, because I'm too sexy.
It's so funny, though, here, though. I remember when Willie Brown was running against Tom Amiano, who you might have seen on the comedy scene. And,
certainly.
And Willie Brown was known as the conservative because, because Amiano was more liberal.
Well, that's why I used to do that joke on stage, and I go, we call ourselves the city because we're so provincial and parochial. And we're the city that keeps you up at night because of our, you know, gay rights and our tech and our black mayors and stuff like that. It kind of flips you out a little bit. Tom Amiano he had a lot of great jokes, but one of his jokes was, what was it? St. Francis, the city was named after St. Francis, who was the patron saint of brunch.
That's not bad. All right, well, before we let you go, let's talk about punchlinecomedyclub.com tickets.
Oh, yes, please.
Tuesday, 7 and 9 p.m., but Wednesday, New Year's Eve, 7:30 and 10. What about that 10 o'clock show, Greg?
The 10 o'clock show starts, Di's going to do a set, and then I got Jackie Cation featuring for me, and she's the headliner. And then I come on and I take you all the way to New Year's Eve, and we do a countdown, and we sing Old Lang Syne and all that. And don't worry, you don't need to know the words. Nobody knows them. And then everybody, we have champagne and party favors and the whole thing, and I wear a stupid hat. And it's pretty fun. It's very low pressure, I think, you know. We've really had a great time, and I tend to get a lot of people come back year after year, Rick, because I make up the show. We're improvising, and I'm going to talk about everything that happened this year, so I would wear a raincoat.
Gallagher show.
Exactly. There's going to be a lot of back spray, as they say.
I remember Jackie Cation. Jackie Cation's been in here with me many times, and I remember she said, I wondered if I had COVID, so I let my husband probe me.
See, I asked to have a woman. I asked Jackie, because she knows all the women comics in America.
Yeah.
Her and Laurie Cole Martin, who's also a Bay Area comic. And so I asked Jackie, I need a woman to feature for me because Jill Maragos is busy this year. And Jackie said, I'll do it. And so I got really lucky and got someone who you should really be paying more money to see this show.
Yeah, it's double headliners, yeah. So, punchlinecomedyclub.com, Tuesday the 30th, 2 shows, and then Wednesday, 7:30, that's the New Year's Eve, the 10 o'clock show. The great Greg Proops, always a pleasure, my friend. Thank you.
Thank you, Rick. I really appreciate it. Have a Merry Christmas, baby.
All right, happy holidays yourself, and we'll come on back on Byline.
The big stuff. Who do you think you are? It's the big stuff. You're never gonna get my love. Not because you wear all those fancy clothes. Oh, yeah. And have a big fine car. Oh, yes, you do not.
This is a true, sad story for ADT, the leader in home security systems. My favorite dog, Oliver, was stolen from our garage recently. If I had a camera system installed in my home from ADT, I would have known exactly what car possibly pulled up in my driveway and stole my little friend. If I had a security system from ADT, my dog would still be here. I called ADT this weekend, and they're coming out in a few days to install a camera and a new security system. Unfortunately, it's a little too late for me. Listen, protect everyone you love in your family. Call ADT now. Have them come out and give you a quote to install a full security system in your home. Don't let it be too late for you. Call right now.
Paid for by the Home Security Hotline, 800-661-3491, 800-361-3491. 800-361-3491. That's 800-361-3491.
Life insurance is one of those things that just about everybody needs, but few people actually have. Hey, if you die unexpectedly without life insurance, guess what? You'll leave your family with even a bigger mess. Life insurance will help replace your family's income. It'll help cover burial expenses. Life insurance can even help pay off debt like credit cards and medical bills. Life insurance can even pay for college. And if you own a business and you die, life insurance can help your business from collapsing. It can even help cover estate taxes. Life insurance has never been more affordable and needed. Plus, you can always shop around even if you have a plan and save some money. So call the Life Insurance Quote Line right now for free pricing information.
800-915-9654. 800-915-9654. 800-915-9654. That's 800-915-9654.
It's more than a rebellion. When your teen is slipping into drugs or alcohol, when social media and pornography consume their time and their mind, when depression and even suicidal thoughts cast a shadow over your home, as a parent, you feel powerless. There is hope. At Turnabout Ranch, troubled teens step away from the chaos and into a clarity of nature on a working cattle ranch. Care for horses, learn responsibility, build trust, and rediscover purpose. It isn't theory, it's real work, real therapy, real healing. Families from across the country have found transformation right here, just when they thought hope was gone. If your teen is struggling with addiction, harmful online behaviors, even weight management, call right now and get the help you all need.
800-219-2494. 800-219-2494. 800-219-2494. That's 800-219-2494.
Come again? You know I don't speak Spanish. In English, please.
Rick Tittle beats his servants.
A couple minutes left before hour number 3. Glenn Dickey has passed away, a longtime San Francisco Chronicle columnist. If you ever want to know how important writers were, if you watch that Last Dance with Jordan, like what people on the sports page would say carried so much weight. And when I was growing up, like in high school, Lowell Cohen and Glenn Dickey, those were the two columnists. The football writer was this guy named Ira Miller, who was just humorless. I think he's in the Football Hall of Fame, actually. And then they had a young guy later named Ray Ratto from Alameda. But Glenn Dickey, he complained about the timing of Joe Montana's birth of his kid. And I remember at a tennis tournament when I was in high school, I met him in the Players Lounge. And I go, "Hi, Mr. Dickey, I read you a lot," just stone-faced. Lowell Cohn, I know Lowell. I did a lot of TV shows with him, and I would talk to him in the press box, and I know his son Grant. Glenn Dickey, though, he made a living off of, saying controversial takes, but he also was very good at what he did. I'm Rick Tittle. Come on back.
I'm Mike Sempervive with the Sports Byline Broadcasting Network 2-minute warning. And I know you've been wondering, Mike, where you been? Well, I'm not going to hold you. I've just been lazy. Took an extra day off. I apologize. I'll go on a little bit longer today to make up for it. Hopefully hearing the last commentary so many times will keep Mets fans off the ledge until free agency is over. We know that's a lie. Those people stay on the ledge. But now that Monday Night Football is over, I'll take a look back at the last few days and give you some of my thoughts. And I'll start with the fallout of head coach Sharon Morissette at the University of Michigan as rumored names to replace him at Sterling. Coach Jed Fish and Kenny Dillingham might be realistic, but it also feels like Michigan would be interested in talking to plenty of NFL guys, not the least of which would be Baltimore's John Harbaugh, whose time with the Ravens feels like it's running out. 44-year-old grandfather Philip Rivers didn't die on Sunday, playing in the NFL for the first time in 5 years, so that was nice. What wasn't as nice was the collapse of the once-leading Colts playoff chances, and it also wasn't nice for Seattle, who looked terrible and now on a short week needs to step up their game or risk getting beaten down further by the Rams. The Chiefs lost an ugly fashion to the Chargers, ending their 10-year playoff run and losing Patrick Mahomes to a torn left ACL, and it's reassessment time in Kansas City. Mahomes makes a ton of money, as does Travis Kelce, and the Chiefs also have the NFL's highest-paid kicker, defensive lineman, center, and guard. Right tackle Jawan Taylor already feels like a looming postseason cut, but the Chiefs front office has a lot of hard decisions upcoming in order to keep their dynasty moving. The loss of Micah Parsons also to a torn left ACL was not just terrible for the Packers, but also terrible for fans of great defensive players. Along with Myles Garrett, Parsons is the elite. Losing him for the playoffs is a loss for the game. And Fernando Mendoza won the Heisman Trophy on Saturday night, which was both expected and well-deserved, although a strong case could have been made for any of the Final Four. In fact, Diego Pavia himself must have thought he had the strongest case, because after Mendoza was announced as the winner, Pavia took to social media to tell the Heisman voters they could fornicate with themselves in ways that are anatomically impossible. He since apologized. For a quarterback who is barely 6 feet tall, it was a bad look to NFL types who are already looking to hold things against you. And it was also a good reminder to everyone that it's okay to put the phone down for a little bit if you're upset and or inebriated before you hit send on that text or social media post. I'm Mike Sempervive with the Sports Byline Broadcasting Network 2-minute warning.
Every champion has a team behind them, and for thousands of families without insurance, Christ Clinic is that team. At Christ Clinic, they provide high-quality health care to people who can't afford it, because everyone deserves a shot at health, no matter their income or insurance status. Their doctors, volunteers, their mission, rooted in compassion, their impact. 10,000 patient visits every year and growing, but they can't do it without help from fans like you. If you ever cheered for a comeback story, this is your chance to be a part of one. Donate today at ChristClinicKaty.org and help them keep the doors open for those who need it most. One gift can be the difference between surviving and thriving. Christ Clinic in Katy, where health meets hope and faith goes to work. That's Christ Clinic Katy, spelled KTY.org. Team up with them today.
Have you been daydreaming about losing weight for years? Do you just yo-yo back and forth? At Innovative Wellness Center, we have a holistic weight loss program that allows you to lose up to 20 pounds in 30 days. People are losing weight like crazy and keeping it off. It can be done from anywhere in the United States. Go to our website at www.innovativewellness.center and schedule your complimentary consultation today.
Getting together with friends, American Premium Vodka, handcrafted and pure, this is the one thing all Americans can agree on. Founder Mark Gus Scott chose the finest natural elements America has to offer, and you'll taste how great it is to be an American. Now available at BevMo, GoPuff, Hy-Vee, and Fairway stores. American Premium Vodka. This is the America we need right now. Go to AmericanPremiumVodka.com. Celebrate responsibly. Every champion has a team behind them, and for thousands of families without insurance, Christ Clinic is that team. At Christ Clinic in Katy, Texas, they provide high-quality, faith-based health care to people who can't afford it, because everyone deserves a shot at health, no matter their income or insurance status. Their doctors, volunteers, their mission, rooted in compassion, Their impact, over 10,000 patient visits every year and growing. But they can't do it without help from fans like you. If you ever cheered for a comeback story, this is your chance to be a part of one. Donate today at ChristClinicKaty.org and help them keep the doors open for those who need it most. One gift can be the difference between surviving and thriving. Christ Clinic in Katy, where health meets hope and faith goes to work. That's Christ Clinic Katy, spelled KATY.org. Team up with them today.
Rick Tittle knows his sports. I hate that guy. I love that guy. Oh my gosh, he's so fine. Rick Tittle brings home the bacon, fries it up in a pan, and then he eats it.
Ricky T in the Sizzle for Shizzle, biznatch.
Thank you so much and welcome back to the show. FIFA has announced that they are slashing some ticket prices and that they will provide each federation, so that's every country, bringing fans with a limited amount of tickets that are $60. There had been a big backlash. I think one of the more funny things, though, was this guy in England who added up everything. He's like, me, my wife, my 2 kids. We want to follow England. Flights from London to the East Coast. And then 4 tickets here and a hotel here. And then 4 tickets to this, and hotels there. And then flying here, 4 tickets in. And then we're going to go to the quarterfinal. And then what if England is in the semifinal? And then what if England is in the final? Another flight, a hotel, 4 tickets. That would be £42,000. That's outrageous. I'm like, what are you, an idiot? What, you're going to go to every game. You're going to have your whole family. You're going to stay in multiple hotels. You're going to take flights. You're going to go to the World Cup semifinal and final, and you're shocked that it's going to be £42,000, basically £10,000 each. To me, that sounds about right. Maybe even less than it could be. Have you been to a sporting event? You know how much we pay for parking at an NFL game? So, I just love the fact, now if he said, geez, I just wanted to go see Haiti play Cape Verde and they wanted $10,000, I would be like, oh, that's a shame. Don't talk to me about how all your dreams come true and you get to sleep in Cinderella's castle at Disneyland and then, oh my gosh, look how expensive it is. But I do think it's cool that they are making it affordable for the people who can't afford to go to all these games, at least the first round. Duh, and then if I'm elected King of England, there's no election for that, then that's going to cost me more. 1-800-878-PLAY. Rick Tittle on Twitch, streaming along, and YouTube Live, the Sports Byline, the big bug. That's right, the big SB bug. All right, come on back for hour 3.
Keep listening for details on how to get up to $300 airline credit. Sky Holidays introduces a one-of-a-kind air credit program. Our buying team got a little too aggressive in getting hotel and air deals, so now we have to liquidate our prices. Here's how. Whether you want to go to Paris, Las Vegas, London, Atlanta, Hawaii, or anywhere else in the world, we have amazing deals. Book a selected hotel and we'll give you up to $300 airline credit. Now you can book your vacation and get a free credit to use towards airline travel. We'll book both, airline and hotel, with one simple phone call. We have access to most airlines and deals on thousands and thousands of places to stay. Call right now, book your hotel rooms, claim your airline credit. You can change or modify anytime. 800-256-4816. 800-256-4816. That's 800-256-4816. Start at $29.99 a month with signed agreement. Restrictions. Speak to a representative for complete offer details. See Vivint.com for license details. Terms and conditions apply.
Homeowners, if you're looking for the best in home security and smart home technology at a price you can actually afford, we have great news. Now you can get Vivint's award-winning home security systems starting at about $1 a day. U.S. News and World Report has recognized Vivint Vivint as the best professionally installed home security system of 2022. And right now, you can get Vivint's home security technology for about $1 a day. Plus, get free professional installation from a licensed technician. Protect your home and loved ones for as low as $1 a day. Call right now for your free home security consultation.
800-918-6189. 800-918-6189. 918-6189. That's 800-918-6189.
Have you suffered sports betting losses? There is someone who wants to fight for you to see you get back what you have lost to those sports betting companies. Michael Watt, prolific trial lawyer with over $11 billion in total recoveries for his clients. And now with sportsbettingclaim.com, he'd like to help you. Michael has been a leader in some of the largest and most complex cases in the country, from defective cars and tires to damaging drugs and medical products. He has always represented the rights of individuals harmed by large corporations. His efforts recently resulted in the recovery of billions for individuals who lost their properties to fires, careless caused by electric companies and others. Michael knows that sports betting companies preyed on and manipulated consumers into losing their life savings, and he wants to make them pay. If you have suffered financial hardship as a result of online sports betting and would like help seeking compensation, please submit your claim information for evaluation at sportsbettingclaim.com. Michael Watts is focused on winning for you. sportsbettingclaim.com.
Titillating Sports with Rick Tittle. Rick Tittle is a genius, the best show ever. He's so wonderful, genius, the best show ever. He's so wonderful. Titillating Sports with Rick Tittle. Rick Tittle he's so handsome. He's a genius.
I am so excited to be back on the Rick Tittle Show.
All right, thank you for that, and welcome back to the show. Rick Tittle with you, coast to coast and around the world on the American Forces Radio Network. If we get J.D. Sharp, we'll throw him on the air. Coming up at 11:40, Amanda Marks, very funny comedian, will join us. She's at Kung Pao Comedy. There was a Golden State Warriors fan who sent the co-owner Joe Lacob an email after the team lost to Portland on Sunday. With a plea, please do something about this team. And the media in San Francisco has reported his name. I'm not going to say his name. I'm just not a fan of writing to the owner. It's just, I don't know. There's some hubris involved there, and I understand. Listen, if I ever wanted to have my say against an owner, just let me talk to John Fisher, once booked on this show, and panicked, and he made Lou Wolf do it. But I understand. Believe me, I've had teams move. Do you think I don't have something to say to Mark Davis? But it's just, anyway, this fan in his 20s, he saw an email address, and so he did Lacob, and he thought maybe this is his address. And then Lacob wrote back, huh? And within minutes. And so then this guy went public with the email. Of course he did. It's sort of like people who take a picture of, hey, look, Tim Kawakami blocked me. First of all, I don't care, and you're bragging about that? So you pissed him off, or anybody. Look who blocked me. Once again, I have only blocked one person. You can say whatever you want, okay? I'm a grown man. Whatever you say, I'll just either ignore or laugh at. If it hurts for 2 seconds. Because you're a stranger with probably a fake picture and a fake name. The only guy I blocked, and this was like around 2011, he was arguing with me on Twitter, which I learned my lesson. I just make a statement and just electronic graffiti, leave it out there. There's no discussion. I'm not having a discussion with it. It always gets worse and worse and worse. It never helps when someone says, oh, I agree with you. You are right. We can stop tweeting now. But this guy started talking about Auschwitz and the Holocaust, and I was like, all right, this is twisted. There's something wrong with you, and I'm blocking you. Anyway, so Joe Lacob, or my former barber until the pandemic ruined it. I also had Joe Lacob's barber. He called him Lacob. You know Lacob, your buddy was in here. Who? Lacob. Oh, Joe Lacob. But anyway, so Joe Lacob wrote back, and this guy went public with it. And I won't say his name, but I will say what the owner said, because I think it's newsworthy. Lacob said, quote, "You can't be as frustrated as me. I am working on it. It's complicated. Style of play, coaches' desires regarding players, league trends. Jimmy Butler is not the problem. Signed, Joe," because the kid had said Butler was being played out of position. So then Steve Kerr was asked about it last night, and he goes, "You see this whole email thing?" Kerr said, "I hate when people are going to post private emails. Imagine if everyone's emails were just posted publicly, how tough it would be to live our lives." John Gruden agrees with him, and Hillary Clinton, and name somebody else. Kerr continues, "Joe supports me 100%. I support him. We have a great connection, and we've had so much continuity here, and our stable environment and our organization is one of our strengths." So someone said, "Well, what about the whole thing, coaches' desires regarding players?" Kerr said, "Not a big deal." The other thing to keep in mind here is that if two people regarding anything, much less a high-profile, results-based professional sports team that has a high bar for success and spends a lot of money on their players, that the owner and the coach would agree on everything. The mistake Joe Lacob did was he opened his mouth when he shouldn't have. And I've already put my foot in my mouth twice today. I called Bruce McCulloch. I told the story about how he was somebody thought he was ugly or whatever, which was dumb to say. And then I said Indiana has no NBA team. So I know what it's like. I've already had strike two. So that's why when you open your big mouth, these things can happen. I guess in my mind, by the way, I was thinking of no MLB team. Why I thought NBA is stupid. But no excuses. The Jed York found out the hard way that you don't want to be a man of the people if you're an owner. If the most famous person in your organization is the owner, that ain't good, you know. And like you think about Al Davis, but you know, John Madden and Ken Stabler, those guys were front and center. Jim Plunkett and Tom Flores, Al was there. But like you look at the Cowboys now, who's the first person if you think of their owner? When was the last time they were in a Super Bowl? You know, sometimes it works with Steinbrenner, and the Steinbrenner went through some dark days in the 80s too. You don't want that to happen. But anyway, Jed York took over when Eddie was stripped of the team and given it to his sister, and then his sister gave it to her son. He was saying, "I want to win with class," and the whole thing with Harbaugh, and it was not good. And then Jed finally was smart, and he said, "You know what? I'm not going to say anything anymore." Remember they lost on Thanksgiving, and he tweets out, "I would like to apologize to all of our fans out there. You think you're doing something proper, you think you're doing something beneficial, everyone will just hate you." In fact, apologies are even more incendiary. You don't get to apologize. Get off. Oh, now you feel sorry. Blah, blah, blah. You can't win. And if you're an owner, people don't like you, all right, unless you have just unmitigated success at all times. People just don't like billionaires in general, even if they're very philanthropic, like the Haas family or, you know, Lamar Hunt, not so much Clark, but, you know, there are some very amazing rich people who give away a lot of money. You know, and I remember when Bill Gates gave $1 billion to the UN, people were like, oh, that's nothing to him. Another person said, you know, he's trying to, what's the word, Dominic, when you can't have kids anymore? Not castration, but you sterilize.
Sterile, infertile.
Thank you. Sterilize. There's a Bill Gates trying to sterilize the continent of Africa. And I remember I had Trevor Noah on the show, and I asked him about it. He goes, oh, yes, I'm sterile. I was sterilized by Bill Gates. Yeah. So I'm saying you'll never win. So as an owner, you're just trying to be cool. You're trying to tell the guy, like, you know, on the one hand, it's really a nice thing. Look, I know I'm the owner, but I'm just a fan like you, and I'm frustrated. Don't worry about it. People disagree. Remember Belichick and Kraft. I want to keep Garoppolo, but we can't pay Garoppolo. We got to trade him. I don't want to trade him, but we have to trade him. Oh, no, trouble in paradise. No. People disagree. You think Lacob's going to say everything Steve Kerr does? Oh, that's great. Especially when he's making him play Brandon Pajemski. He's making him do it. I'm Rick Tittle. Come on back.
Special alert for consumers struggling to pay taxes. There are new tax regulations, not published yet. We have the inside track on your new tax savings. These programs are designed to help struggling taxpayers like you. The COVID relief programs are gone, but there are new programs to help struggling taxpayers, and we have the inside track. Call now and we'll take you through these new programs. These taxpayer savings programs have never been available until now. Out of tax trouble now. It doesn't take weeks. It can happen in one phone call. Call now and get the inside track to get rid of your tax problems.
Call the tax helpline now. 800-949-0039. 800-949-0039. 800-949-0039. That's 800-949-0039.
If you've got a property that you've been trying to sell and you've tried almost everything, I want to tell you about something that you haven't tried yet. You're going to think this offer is good to be true, but it's not. Thousands of customers have sold their homes in any condition with Need to Sell My Home. This is a real opportunity from a highly rated company that buys homes all over the country. Did you know it's possible to sell your home right over the phone with no real estate commissions and no pesky open houses? Plus, every offer is a cash offer with no mortgage holdups. To find out how much you can sell your home or property for, call now. Take 5 minutes of your time and call for this 100% free quote to sell your home.
800-430-0674. 800-430-0674. 800-430-0674. That's 800-430-0674. Do you need to sell your home? You've sold a home before. You remember how stressful and expensive it was. Sold.com is here to help you sell your home for the most money and with the least amount of stress. There are new ways to sell your home that you've never heard of before. Did you know there are companies who will offer you cash for your home? Did you know you could trade in your home for a new one? Did you know there are realtors who will sell your home for a flat fee instead of an expensive commission? It's true. Sold.com services are free. So if you're looking to sell, make this free phone call right now and learn how your next home sale can be faster and easier than you ever thought possible. Pick up your cell phone and call right now. 800-251-7816. 800-251-7816. 800-251-7816. That's 800-251-7816.
I gotta go to college. I gotta.
Danny, this isn't Russia. Is this Russia? This isn't Russia, is it?
Nah.
I don't think so.
Tittle ain't the man, but Rick Tittle know who the man is, and he slapped his white fanny.
Thank you for that. Coming up next, Amanda Marks. Actually, Dominic Jimenez, you mind jumping on the mic because he came in and we actually had a pretty interesting sports talk show during the commercial. And that is just to set it up. And I don't put words in his mouth, but basically Dominic said Steve Kerr is one of the most overrated coaches of all time. And I said, yes, X's and O, maybe he's not great, but man management is such a hard thing, and he's perfect for this team, being a former champion and being liberal and knowing the tone. So, Dominic, why don't you come back in with your point?
So once you made that point, full agree with you there. We saw it with the prior coach, Mark Jackson, where he wasn't quite connecting with the guys at the same level that Steve Kerr has. Steve Kerr took a very good team and improved them. So early on, you know, that motion offense with the screens, the pick and rolls, the constant motion, everybody moving, Steph a mile a game. It was great. It was new. But where the league adapted to that style of offense, I feel like there was a lack of counter-adaption, if that's the right word. Okay, it's like you see it with like a young quarterback. This guy's tearing it up. Okay, defenses, we adjust. Then it's on the offensive coordinator and the head coach again to then readjust your game plan. I feel like Kerr didn't do that. I think there is a high level of he walked into arguably the greatest situation ever a head coach walked into, almost. Maybe George Seifert taking over, that was maybe a better situation. But Kerr walked in, he's got 3 Hall of Famers in their prime on the team. But I think as time has progressed, the quality of coaching has greatly declined. We've seen the chaos behind the scenes with Draymond and Durant, Draymond and Poole, and it's a lot of just Draymond. Kerr's got no control over that. And I understand the players are getting older, but the warm, fuzzy feeling that I used to have as a Warriors fan, I don't get the same fuzzy feelings, the same joy from watching them. I love Steph. I'm blessed to have my adult time. I got to watch Steph's entire career. But there's just something missing, and part of it is poor drafting, poor free agent signings. You look at all of the guys they could have had, but it's just it's not the same. And also, one other thing, Kerr hasn't developed a young player his entire time here. Not one like very good young player has developed into, hey, this is a real player. Wiseman, he was injured, but Moody, Kuminga, even Ty Jerome went on and did better. Ryan Rollins went on and did better. It hasn't been pretty long-term for me.
All right, let me throw this at you. With this collection of old men and lousy young players, and as I was saying yesterday, the Warriors dynasty is over. Do you think you could bring in somebody that could get more wins out of this dead they have right now?
I don't think there is, but and I don't have the exact answer, but Mike Brown would have been, I think, a better coach over the last handful of years than Steve Kerr. However, yeah, you say they're talentless, and yeah, the young guys are not very good, but you have to wonder how much of that is Kerr wanting this guy or that guy, and then you build into, even if these guys aren't going to become all-stars, what have the Warriors done to actually improve them? Anytime Moses Moody started playing well, we'll take it over the last couple years, where he's getting minutes, it's like, oh, hey, he's playing some defense, he's hitting some threes, he's very athletic. As soon as he makes a screw-up of some kind, he rides the bench for 3 games, and I understand there's a level of wanting to teach your young players. You want them to learn from their mistakes. Like, okay, yeah, we're going to sit you a little bit understandable for that awful, you didn't rotate properly. The amount of leash and I think player development, we don't know how good Moody or Kuminga could actually have been at this point because there's no consistency to the opportunities to their growth. Right. And then he invests heavily in a guy like Brandon Pajemski. And in that same interview, Will Richard hasn't been playing because he's a rookie, and he wants to honor the veterans and what they've done. But Brandon Pajemski in his 3rd year is still 28 minutes a game.
Well, you know how I feel about him. A lot of times when your window is closing and you need to win, as you know, you can't blood young players. A lot of times you throw the season away when you go, let's just see. It's kind of like with Quinn Ewers with the Dolphins now. It's like, all right, we're not going to the playoffs. Let's see what they what they have right now. But I want to, as much as we, like, I think that it's hard for Steve to develop anybody when he's given lousy players to develop. I really think that's his job. I think his job is to just win games. Now, we can get into the nuances of what a head coach should be, and that's fine. But I want to, before we go, we have a couple minutes here, I want to turn to the other thing you said, and that is you have Shanahan fatigue, like Tomlin fatigue, like John Harbaugh fatigue. I saw it with the A's with Tony La Russa. It's like, you can leave now, and then it's like, oh, wait a minute, what are you doing here? We should have kept that guy. What is it about Shanahan with the Niners that you don't like?
So the biggest thing is everybody loves giving him accolades and props for doing this and for doing that. Shanahan hasn't done the one thing he was hired to do, and he hasn't won a Super Bowl. Have they been consistently good? Yes. I think a large credit needs to go to John Lynch, where also a lot of blame needs to go on John Lynch. How many first-round picks have the Niners completely whiffed, whereas their third, fourth, fifth-round guys are actually quite good? With Shanahan, it's a little bit more personality thing for me. Anytime I see Kyle Shanahan talk, he's got what I call the Farhan Zaidi syndrome, where he likes to let everybody know that he thinks he's the smartest guy in the room. There's a level of smugness to him, and I'll give Farhan Zaidi credit. He's built a championship-winning team, not in San Francisco, but in L.A. They won. Shanahan, sure, you are expensive.
Wait, your mic cut out. It's all right. You were on a roll there. All right, come on back. Farhan built a championship team in L.A.
All right, better?
Yeah.
Shanahan has this cockiness, arrogance, like he can do no wrong. It just rubs me the wrong way. And the execution of the players, I can't put all the blame on Shanahan. Garoppolo, if he doesn't overthrow Emmanuel Sanders, Niners win. If Jaquiski Tartt doesn't drop that interception, maybe they go on to the Super Bowl. If Jake Moody doesn't miss a couple field goals, maybe they win. But just it's on like year 7 or something like that of Shanahan. The Niners have gotten close, but they can't win it. I don't have the obvious, this could have done it, but I don't think Shanahan, it's just, I think it's a very good peak, don't get me wrong, but I think the Niners have peaked and they've missed their championship window.
All right, well, let me just throw this at you. As frustrated as you are by winning the Super Bowl, when you look at 2/3 of the league that would kill to have had these shots that the Niners have had, and this merry-go-round of clowns, schmucks, and morons that are named head coaches, the fact that you are in it again, and he did, if you want to give him credit, develop Mr. Irrelevant into a Super Bowl quarterback. He's been to the Super Bowl with multiple quarterbacks as well. As much as you're frustrated with him, don't you think that you have one of maybe 6, 8, 10 guys who's capable of getting a team to the Super Bowl when every other, like me, most other NFL fan could only dream of a guy like Kyle Shanahan?
So I'll say yes and no. I'll say I'd rather my team bad and rebuilding than the current situation for the Niners. I would rather my team not be good and have some kind of future and an aim for a rebuild than getting to a bunch of championship games and Super Bowls, having it be right there and not getting it. And this is for me, though. It's a little different. The Niners have won one Super Bowl in my life, and I was like 4.
Right.
So I've tasted with the championships with the Giants, with the Warriors, and it's more painful to me to get so close like the 49ers have, to be able to touch the championship and then just completely miss when you reach out.
But if you go back and burn it to the ground, which a lot of franchises, you burn it to the ground, you start over again. When you do get close to touching it again, Well, you're there. You're right there right now. Is what I'm saying. Is it's so hard, and you know this. It's so hard to get that close, and you have to have that's why I say like with the Warriors, they're not going to touch that again, and they're going to have to start because they don't have any good young players. But so 20 seconds. Would you fire Kyle Shanahan?
Depending on who was available, yes. If this was like last offseason and a guy like Ben Johnson was available, absolutely in a heartbeat.
Would you rather have Mike Vrabel?
Yeah, I would take Mike.
All right, there he is, Dominic Jimenez. Good back and forth there. Sports talk on your dial. Amanda Marks is coming up. Get on back.
Tell me who's watching. Who's watching me? I always feel like somebody's watching me, and I have no privacy. I always feel like somebody's watching me. Tell me, is it just a dream? When I come home at night, I roll the door.
$5,000. That's the average amount of money people in the U.S. are now spending on gas in a year. $5,000. That's crazy. If you drive, you have to download Upside, the free app that gives you cash back every time you get gas. That's right. You can earn real cash back with Upside just by buying the gas you're already buying. You can literally start earning cash back today.
I use Upside every time I fill up, and I've already made around $300.
You're putting gas in your car anyway. Why not get real cash back? If you like money, download Upside.
I'm saving the cash I earn from using Upside to help pay for a vacation later this year.
Free Upside app now to earn cash back every time you buy gas. Use promo code ROYAL25 to get an extra 25 cents per gallon on your first tank. You can cash out anytime right to your bank, PayPal, or gift card for Amazon and other brands. Just download the free Upside app and use promo code ROYAL25 for a 25 cents per gallon bonus on your first tank. That's code ROYAL25 for a 25 cents per gallon bonus.
Hey, vacation lovers, it's finally time to use all those random facts you learned on TikTok, something that actually matters. It's the Radio Trivia Challenge from thevacationbuddies.com. Here's how it works. Be one of the first 10 callers right now and you'll score a complimentary 3-day, 2-night getaway from the Vacation Buddies. You'll stay at none other than Westgate Resorts in your choice of Vegas, Orlando, Myrtle Beach, or Branson. Ready? According to travel stats, which of these 3 cities is the most visited vacation destination in the U.S.? A, Las Vegas, B, Orlando, C, New York City. First 10 callers get the trip. So stop scrolling and start dialing. And let's see if TikTok actually taught you anything.
Be one of the first 10 callers. Call Vacation Buddies right now. 800-340-1834. 800-340-1834. 800-340-1834. That's 800-340-1834. Do you have a book? Get it out of your head and make it a real book with a free guide to book publishing. Trying to publish a book yourself can be complicated. It takes a lot of time. Time that you could spend writing your book or even more books. Do what you do best. We do the rest. Thousands of authors across the nation have trusted our book publishing service. We have the connections to help you get your book printed, distributed, and sold on Amazon, Apple Books, Barnes & Noble, and bookstores nationwide. You can do it faster than you can on your own. Get your free guide to publishing. It's a free phone call. Remember, make this free call right now and learn how to turn your book into something real that people can buy. Get your free writer's guide. Call right now. 800-482-8399. 800-482-8399. 800-482-8399. That's 800-482-8399.
You know, like kickboxing, that's my favorite sport. Kickboxing is great. When you think about it, it combines the style and grace of boxing with kicking.
Mirror, mirror on the wall, tell me, mirror, what is wrong? Can it be my daylight clothes or is it just my daylight song? What I do ain't make-believe. People say I sit and try, but when it comes to being daylight, it's just me, myself, and I. It's just me, myself, and I. It's just me, myself, and I.
Tittle can usually be found at He Baby Mama House.
All right, thank you for that, and welcome back to the show. Rick Tittle with you coast to coast and around the world on the American Forces Radio Network. Well, we are just a couple weeks away from the 33rd annual Kung Pao Kosher Comedy Show, Jewish comedy on Christmas in a Chinese restaurant, one of the longest running comedy shows from our friend Lisa Gedoldug. Orion Levine will be performing. The fantastic Elaine Boozler, who we've seen on Carson and Letterman over the years. And our next guest, quite happy to have her, the lovely and talented Amanda Marks. Amanda, tell me about your deal with the Kung Pao show. What are you going to be doing? Just straight up stand-up?
I've got about 5 puppets I bring with me from. No, I'm just joking. I am not a prop comedian. I'm just bringing myself. I'm really excited to be one of the comedians on this year's lineup. Really excited to share the stage with Elaine. She is such a legend. And I'm ready for some egg rolls. Honestly, that's why I'm coming. It's all for the egg rolls and the fortune cookies.
Now, from what I understand, you are from the Peach State, and we're a little smug here thinking our Asian food is better than the East Coast, but I don't know. How was Atlanta Chinese food?
Well, every Christmas Eve, we find a place to go. We have some great restaurants in Atlanta, but I grew up actually in Birmingham, Alabama, and I was stuck eating the food court Chinese food at the mall. So and anything is a step up from that.
Birmingham, not too far from Tuscaloosa. You ever get over there and watch the Tide roll?
So Roll Tide, I'm really happy you said that. As when you grow up in Alabama, you're pretty much required to choose if you're supporting the Auburn or the Crimson Tide. And my parents raised me as an Alabama fan, and I do not know how to play football, but I know who I'm cheering for.
Tell us a little bit about, because I like the different ways you go about stuff. The mom cam in the minivan. It's kind of lyrical ring to it.
Oh, yeah, you've done some deep diving, haven't you?
Oh, yeah.
So yeah, I do. I had a web series I created years ago called Mom Cam in the Minivan, which, is pretty on the nose with what the show is about. Literally just putting my phone in the dashboard and recording myself talking to my phone and it's like 2-minute episodes. And just whatever was on my mind. My parents were always really worried I was going to get into a car accident. But, when you're Jewish, you also come with paranoid Jewish parents. So that's just part of the course.
It's an interesting view because the webcam's going through the steering wheel, and the one that I wanted to click on, I've resisted, but I'm going to have to do it after we hang up. And I don't want to judge a book by the cover, but the one, you're holding a Pee Wee Herman doll, and the title is John Stamos Kissed Me. So that's the one that I got to find out what's going on there.
Oh, man. I think I managed to put in a lot of content in that 3-minute piece. But, yeah, when back to Birmingham in the mall in the 1980s, worked for a regional department store called Parisian, and they were opening up their biggest store, fanciest store ever in the River Chase Gallery Mall, and they had John Stamos come and do a cameo.
Wow.
And I was like, he had just done the pilot for Full House. I had no idea who he was. I just knew he was a celebrity, and I was like 8 or 9. So he was very sweet to me. I said something to him in front of all these people that has now gone down in family history. It's probably the most embarrassing thing that's ever come out of my mouth. And then afterwards, he had Q&A.
Wait, what was it? You got to tell us what you said.
How much time do we have?
We got plenty of time now.
Okay. So you have to know, I was like a super precocious kid, and I watched a lot of television. Okay, so we were backstage with John Stamos and all of these. They called them pace setters, which they are basically the interns that were all teenagers. My sister was one of them. And everyone's trying to get his attention. I'm trying to get his attention. There's 20 adorable girls surrounding him. So I was like, John Stamos, do you want a piece of gum? And he's like, no, I'm good. And then I had $1 on me in my little wallet. And I was like, John Stamos, do you want a dollar? He's like, no, I'm good. and then I started thinking back to all the TV shows I grew up watching, and when there'd be a celebrity cameo in these shows, and it was usually around something devastating happening to a kid, someone with a chronic disease. So I yelled, John Stamos, my uncle has a brain tumor. And everyone fell silent, and everyone turned to look at me. And my mom was currently not backstage. My sister was. This was actually true, and unfortunately, and he just patted me on the head and goes, "Oh, I'm so sorry, dear." And that was that until we got to the Q&A portion of his cameo with the audience, and they let everyone ask him questions. I don't know what he was thinking when I raised my hand and he called on me, because I'm sure he had no idea what was going to come out of my mouth. But I asked him, I said, have you ever kissed a girl? And then he kissed me on the cheek and said, yes, I have. And then all the girls around me freaked out.
Wow.
So he was, he probably, I think he was, 15 years older than me, and now he looks 15 years younger than me.
Well, I think you could be like a Head and Shoulders or some kind of shampoo spokesperson, because your lid is majestic. Amanda. Did we lose Amanda? We definitely. That'd be cool if I had my third foot in the mouth moment. Sometimes it'll say when you interview someone, don't bring up this, don't bring up that. It's usually a sensitive thing, like don't bring up the CBA they're negotiating. And like, okay. I didn't get a memo on the hair thing though. Amanda, are you back with us?
I'm back. Oh God, where'd we leave off?
We left off when I said your majestic hair. You could be a shampoo spokesperson.
Oh, thank you. You think I shampoo my hair?
Well, whatever you're doing, that looks like some shiny, good frizz going on.
It is a lot of conditioner. There's a lot of conditioner that happens. It's taken me years to figure out how to manage my curls.
And it's the first time I've ever said shiny, good frizz.
You should be writing ad copy.
I know. I should work for J. Peterman or something.
Yeah.
All right. Well,
and everyone can come see my hair in person.
Well, there's 2 shows a day. You got the Christmas Eve one, you got the Christmas one, you got the Boxing Day one. 5 p.m. dinner show. Sit down with some fried rice, chow mein, egg rolls, as you mentioned. 8:30 p.m. cocktail show. Is this the first time you've done the Kung Pao?
It is. I've done some virtual shows for Lisa, but this is the first time I'm there in person. I'm really excited to be out in San Francisco. I love Northern California and just really excited to be back, and this time to do comedy.
Well, when it says Jewish comedy, to me, it's just comedy unless every joke has to have a Jewish theme.
Well, I feel like I'm naturally a Jewish theme. I do talk a lot about growing up Jewish in Alabama, but I also talk about parenthood and make fun of myself and all sorts of other things, including my dogs.
Do you remember Steve Landisberg? I'm a little bit older than you. He is a Jewish comedian, and he said, you know why there's no Jewish people in the South? Because you would never hear this. Are you going to temple or what?
I don't know. That's what it sounds like to me.
All right. And then, as I mentioned, Elaine Boozler is fabulous, and I know women don't like talking about her age, but she's been on stage for over 40 years. She's one of the all-time OGs.
She's totally an OG. I think when I think of women in comedy, she is one of the first names that pops into my head. So, it is. I'm going to geek out. I'm going to try and do it privately and not on stage, but I'm so excited to see her perform and to be in her presence.
All right, last question for you. What is you mentioned egg roll, but what is your go-to Chinese food that maybe people might find surprising?
Let's see. Hot and sour soup.
All right, there it is.
I love soup.
It might be one of the dumbest questions I ever asked, but well done. The 33rd annual Kung Pao Kosher Comedy Fest. I'll call it a fest. Jewish comedy on Christmas in a Chinese restaurant. One of the longest running shows in San Francisco comedy. And it will be December 24th through 26th. Virtual, you can watch as well. Elaine Boozler will be dropping by. Go to koshercomedy.com for more information as well. And I should mention this is at the Imperial Palace restaurant. It would make sense to give the venue as well. Amanda Marks will be there. And Amanda, it's great having you on. And next time you're in town, come on in studio. We'd love to have you and see that hair.
All right. Oh, yeah.
All right. I'm Rick Tittle. We'll take a quick break and come on back on Byline.